It's an all-the-time thing.
Oh, and we're live.
I agree with Myth.
Alright.
Candy's an all-time thing.
Alright, I'd just like to say welcome to session 1 of the Dark Side of the Foundry, an Dungeons & Dragons 5E game based around the realm of Aether Eternius, a webcomic created by me, the dumbass DM. I would like to go around the room to introduce everyone. First of all, we've got Evil Chippy, aka Jim, aka Tiberius.
Hello, how are you? I am Tiberius.
We then have East, who will be playing Rose.
Yes, and I'm also the one responsible for broadcasting our poor life choices to the internet. Sorry in advance.
We then have Flame Rot Jin, also known as, who will be playing Various, if I'm right? Is that how you pronounce it? Various?
Yes.
Okay. We then have Mithros, who will be playing Dacian, as well as his Sassweasel companion, Mouse.
Prepare for the ferreting.
And then finally, Ali, who will be playing Felix Oakwish, the Fey Bard.
Yes, he
Don't
is quite
forget
amazing.
Truffles.
And Truffles.
Don't forget Truffles. Truffles is very important.
Can't forget the pig.
Just as a heads up, my sessions usually run about, give or take 4 hours, with a break in between 2 hours. So, if everyone's ready, we can go ahead and get started. I will be giving some background behind the session first and foremost, if everyone's all right with that.
Yep.
No, I'm just here for combat. No, just kidding.
Can I have a gun that shoots 18 bullets per second?
I want to be a Glitter Boy descendant with Glitter Boy armor that has been modified to fire the Glitter Boy gun 27 times in the fraction of half.
Oh my
You
god,
laughed, and yet
no
I've had
glitter
somebody
boys.
ask me or something similar to.
Oh my goodness.
That's what I'm saying. It's terrible that people do this stuff. Anyhow, sorry about that.
You're fine. Don't worry about it. Okay. So, Dark Side of the Foundry will be taking place about a month after the ending of Act 2 in the current comic. The Plane of Void has been put back together, a new Lord is now seated on the throne, and the timeline that we're looking at is sometime after this and into the new year of the Planes. I'll basically... Okay, I'm just going through my notes here. I really should have written down a script because I'm terrible at this. I'm terribly sorry. Today, or rather tonight, is the eve of the New Year's festival. It is about 3 hours till curfew for the outsiders, of course. And as of right now, the festivities are completely off the rails. Everyone's having fun. Everyone's out in the streets. But a sort of a side kind of how do I pronounce this? Attachment to the festivities of the New Year is also the celebration of the newly reformed Plane of Void. Your characters are currently, let me move you guys over, are all located currently in the council hall at a private party. Well, actually, technically it's a more public party, but a private party for a select few of more influential individuals in the planes. Let me get playing real quick. Sorry, I'm a little discombobulated. Still not super great at this. So let me grab this.
Take your time, Nova.
We're in no rush.
Get some playing for you guys. Please feel free to turn down rhythm if you feel need to. This is mostly just ambience. No problem. Alright, so I'm going to go down the list of characters and kind of give you a rundown of why you're here, what's happening as well. For the most part, you were all within the central main chamber of the council hall. Several people are around here. There's actually quite a lot. There's quite a large gathering, as well as several tables full of food, activities in the other halls, and everything seems very jovial and very lighthearted. The main entities that you do see going to and from talking to almost everyone, including themselves and others of importance, would be the elemental lords. The one does seem to be missing at the moment. Flix, you have been tasked with coming here to learn more about primordial culture and acting as sort of the in-training Fey ambassador in place of your mentor Jericho. He has recommended that you come to this sort of little celebration, especially into the party inside the council hall, to try to see if you can get accustomed and greeted with the lords themselves. Dacian, you essentially have come here because Auntie basically pulled you aside and said, I know you're trying to get your bearings here in the plains. I know you're doing some rather good work with myself and Zenith, but maybe you should start branching out, and this would be the perfect time to do it. Taking her suggestion, you have come to the party tonight as well. And she has explicitly asked you to look for the Fire Lord. Rose, speaking of the Fire Lord, you are his personal bodyguard tonight. He has chosen you instead of, say, the rest of his entourage, as they're currently undergoing some much needed training after a bit of a fluke with a hunting session a few weeks ago.
I didn't ask for this.
But you get it.
Tibbs and Various, you two are not quite sure how you exactly got into the council hall, but there's a lot of people, a lot of influence, and at least from Various, he knows by reading around, especially in the libraries, that this is probably the best chance you guys got to really get to know a couple people, to kind of get yourself a little bit on the up and up here in Primordial Society. Tiberius, on the other hand, it's a party. Why not be here in the first place?
It's just natural for me to gravitate towards this. I'm just saying, if Tiberius dies, a new elemental will be born. The party.
Oh no.
Now, there are several people around this room, several people in the chambers and in the halls beyond. As I've said before, almost all the lords are here aside from one. Rose, Dacian, you would know who this is. It would be Catherine the Earth Lord. With that, I will leave the floor open to you guys. Would you like to speak to any particular NPCs, or would you like to speak with each other?
Tiberius is going to talk to anyone that's actually within earshot to just be like talking their ear off.
Go for it.
Dacian is probably hanging out near the sweets table, feeding a tiny black ferret. Mostly to shut him up, but also while he's, keeping an eye out, looking for, just kind of scoping the room out and looking for the Fire Lord.
Mm-hmm. And give me a perception check, Dacian. You can do that by going into your character sheet, going down to the basically you'll see all your skills: acrobatics, animal handling, and perception. Just go ahead and click that, and it'll automatically roll for you. Okay, that was a 14. You do indeed see a figure over across the way from the dessert table, in front of a table that has a much larger spread to it, with a purple tablecloth. It has a lot of savory foods on this one, but there's definitely a being with fire hair and really long, almost rabbit-like ears, in a way, talking with someone who is cloaked in very dark colors, with a hair that looks almost like daylight fading into starlight. You would definitely know who this is, considering you are a primordial. You do have that communal knowledge. You would know that the one with the fire hair is indeed Leonard the Fire Lord.
Okay.
If you wish to talk to him, you may. Or if someone else would like to interject or do as they please, go ahead. As I said, I'm leaving the floor open for you.
Rose, at the moment, they would just be sitting at a table or a seat somewhere close to Leonard. They're kind of just drumming their fingers on the tabletop and just kind of looking left and right. They kind of huff out a breath there. You He said it'd be fun. He said it would be a way to acquaint myself.
And it has been a very uneventful night for you. No one's really going to come in guns blazing, however, when all the lords are in the same facility. So, in a way, it almost feels redundant to have a bodyguard there, but, you know, Leonard, he's paranoid.
No one said there'd be damn Fae involved.
How hot is Rose? General question: how hot is Rose?
Give the charisma score. Or do you mean temperature-wise, considering he's fire?
Temperature aesthetic here.
What does Rose look like?
Okay,
Feel free to
sure.
describe yourself.
Rose is kind of a little bit youngish looking. We would probably say about approximately mid-20s in human terms. They have some kind of wavy, curly, shortish hair. It's kind of white, but the tips are a little more reddish there. They're wearing a blazer, which is kind of mostly flamish tones, so like kind of like cool at the cool at the bottom, like blues and that, going more up towards red and white towards the shoulders. They are just kind of dressed there a little bit more kind of upper classy, like upper casual generally. They are also wearing knee-high boots with heels. Doing so, they have kind of decorated with some stars. There's a moon on one side, and you can see like basically a firefox that's curling around the caps of the boots.
Okay. Is Rose more masculine or feminine?
Yes.
So androgynous then.
So, yes. Seeing Varys and Tibbs as well talking. You've definitely accrued some attention for the bunnies. There is someone who is observing the both of you as you're kind of definitely, especially Tiberius, who was talking a little bit above the murmur of the general vicinity, and it seems to be almost a hunched-over, draconic-looking being who just kind of is looking at you, occasionally chatting back and forth with someone who looks almost like they're in business attire
Oh
and
no.
partially frozen. But she occasionally throws a glance at you two every now and then.
Oh yes, someone's gonna get shot. Yes.
All right. Oh, look, people are looking at us. Hello, you.
Oddly enough, she actually kind of raises one hand, kind of gives you a friendly little wave before returning to the conversation with the icicle being.
We were worried, Various. I mean, come on, look how friendly these things.
Flix, what are you up to?
Sorry, I was crunching. Flix is going to sort of follow around Jericho, just peeking about, being exasperated, being bored as hell because he doesn't really want to be there, but he's been forced to. He doesn't have much of a choice. The party seems really dull, so he's thinking about livening it up. But Jericho's there.
Oh yeah, he's sort of going around, kind of mingling with a bunch of random people. He's not really approaching the lords at all. He's kind of occasionally looking at you. He's kind of seeing how you're coping with the whole situation. Yeah, Jin's not wrong. It did start with someone getting shot. Pay in mind that was entirely their fault. So,
I mean, yeah.
But Jericho definitely will turn to you, Flix, and he'll notice that you kind of have that bored gleam in your eye, and he's like, "Is something wrong?"
No, of course not. Just, I don't know, I expected a little more from a lord party.
Well, if you were really looking for the high life party, it's usually outside in the ring, but this is where all the influences are. This is where you should be, talking to people, not just following me around.
But what would I say to them? I mean, they all look kind of tall, except for that short one by the table. He looks kind of short.
That's Makumbo. Don't say that to his face.
But he's short.
Not.
I mean, I'm not the tallest, but my heels make up for it.
You see Jericho put his hands together. Do not call the Null Lord short.
Wait, that's Null?
Yes, you're very much aware of this.
The Lord of what now?
The Lord of Null.
But what was the word you just said before that? Terraridus?
What?
I don't know. You were talking.
He kind of puts his hands up, breathes, and then puts them down. It's like, just mingle with people, okay?
Okay. All right. I've got this. It's okay.
Yes.
You can trust me. I will get it right this time.
Let me do something real quick.
I have
Roll
concern.
deception, please.
Perception?
Roll deception.
Deception?
Deception.
Inception.
How do you roll in this again?
Okay. If you go over to your journal tab and open up your character sheet.
Yeah, I'm on it.
Okay, if you scroll down and you'll see all your skills, just go ahead and click the skill.
Oh, just click the skill in order to roll it?
Mm-hmm.
So, perception.
Deception.
Deception, okay. Oh boy, the one thing I'm not
Does
trained.
not believe you. He gives you that look like, Flix, talked about this. This is what you're training for. You need to be a bit more confident in yourself.
I can be confident. I can be just like you. Watch. I'm gonna go and strut up to the first lord I see. That's not the short one, because apparently I will insult him by accident by calling him short.
Okay, let me just... Okay, so you definitely don't walk up to the short one per se, but there's definitely the taller one next to him that seems a little bit easier to approach.
All right, I got this. Okay.
No.
The being
So-
is very tan-skinned. They have multiple eyes all over their body, mostly 4 that you can see right off the bat. 1 on the chest, 3 on the face. They are adorned with a lot of gold bangles and rich red silken cloths. Their hair almost seems like it constantly generates itself behind them like a flowing cape, but also looks very gaseous. They definitely do notice your approach and will kind of briefly look in your direction.
Okay. I'm gonna walk up to him, mimicking Jericho's exact movements.
Oh my god.
This is fine.
Abandon ship. Abandon ship. Buns and women first.
See, this
they
is why
definitely
Dacian thought the cake table was safe.
They definitely give you a strange look like, okay, who in the world is this? And don't really say anything. They just stare down at you as if they're waiting for you to do something.
All right. I'm gonna take this time to take off my hat into a full-on bow and say, "You are pleased to make my acquaintance."
Oh.
No, wait, that's wrong. I am pleased to make your acquaintance.
Oh.
The figure doesn't really seem to say much, but you do hear a bit of a snorting chuckle coming next to them from the shorter figure.
Oh god.
This does, however, earn a small smile from the tall figure, and they once more turn to address you. It's like, as amusing as that is, what can I help you with?
Is Rose hearing this?
Yes, Roast, you are definitely in range because Leonard is still kind of lurking nearby while talking with another figure.
Rose just puts one elbow up on the table, kind of rests their cheek into a palm. It's like, oh, here we go.
Okay, I'm just gonna level with you. I'm really new at this. So, my name is Flix. I'm a fae. I'm beautiful. And you are?
Ah, so you're the new in training ambassador, aren't you?
Yes, that would be me.
I see. I am Adaract, the Lord of Matter.
Okay, so I'm furiously trying to scrawl his name and not know how to spell it at all. Okay, Modrock. Lord Modrock.
Oh no.
Close enough. Now we're gonna shift focus briefly to Tiberius and Various
no.
as they kind of approach, and you start to hear the conversation between both Leonard and the figure with the very starry hair. They seem to be chatting rather enthusiastically about something they've recently located, which was, no surprise, a book. But
Oh, books,
let
various.
me.
That's your thing. Go, go.
Various shoots you a death glare as he's pushed forward.
It just smiles.
Leonard definitely notices you. You can see his ears kind of flatten a little bit as he turns and looks down. Oh, hello. Can I help you too? Seems to almost jump with the fact that there's suddenly rabbits in front of him.
Big smile from Tiberius as he waits for Various to talk.
Various is he's politely
Rib nudge.
fol- politely folds his hands in front of him, his ears going up, and it's like, well, we were told that you that it uh, he looks back at Tiberius.
And Leonard definitely seems to be having like little shifty eyes, occasionally looking between both you and Tiberius, and then back to the figure that they originally were talking to. And
We
says
couldn't
he
help but notice your ears. They are magnificent.
kind of frowns at this and pulls one hand up and pulls his ears down, like, okay, that's an odd thing for you to focus on. Can I? What? Can I do something for you two?
What my friend is trying to say is, or get to the point is, we've been sort of new here and we were sort of directed to this party when we were asking around about figuring out a few things.
He kind of looks at the figure and it's like, excuse me for a moment. They kind of bow their head and walk away briefly. Leonard then finally turns to face both of you. It's like, well, you've certainly come to the right place. He definitely seems to stumble over his words a lot, and he's using his hands very lively as he's talking this stuff. And it's like, how new are you two? Are you like new to the plains? Are you new to Foundry?
I'd say to the plains.
Oh! He kind of briefly will look around before looking back at you two. It's like, oh, okay,
Yes, yes, yes. Various is just trying to beat around the bush. Simply put, we are looking for something called a sigil. Do you have one, and how can we?
oh. He seems to. You can definitely see his ears go up and down as he kind of comes to the realization of what you're asking for. It's like, and then his hands kind of stapled together, fingers kind of tipping together. It's like, I can't exactly help you with that, but I can kind of point you in the direction to go.
And how much will this cost?
I mean, it's just information. It's it cost anything, really, right?
What sort of information?
I can. Well, it's actually not so much information as advice.
Oh, sorry. I thought that you meant you wanted information from us in return. Sorry.
Why would I want information on an outsider?
No
Oh,
reason.
we're quite important.
We're not out of character. We're not acting suspicious at all. No.
He just kind of looks at both of you, and both of those ears kind of droop downward.
Darius, I'm not sure about the body language around here. Are drooping ears good or bad with their? I'll take that as bad.
He kind of opens his mouth. It's like, my suggestion: try to look for someone a little lower on the totem pole, someone probably more on the case of a citizen. They tend to have. They'll probably help you a little bit more than someone like me. I'm actually not supposed to help.
Excellent. Could you point us to one of these citizens? We would gladly talk to them. And
He kind of just looks around at everything.
Tibbs. What do you mean lower on the totem pole?
obviously, someone shorter than him with less ears.
No, Tibbs.
If I may.
Yes.
Someone who is not a lord like myself.
You see Various's ears immediately go flat.
And Tiberius's ears go up. Oh, Lord, you say.
Well, yes. I mean, how else do I put it? He kind of raises one hand and scratches the top of his head. You kind of just see the fingers just dance through the flames that make up his hair. It's like, well, you outsiders worship gods, right? That's a thing?
It's a thing.
Well, the moons, but yes.
Essentially, that is what we are. If you want to put it into those layman's terms.
Right.
Rose
We'll
hides a
stop
snort.
bothering you. We'll stop bothering you. And Various grabs Tibbs by the arm and tries to drag him away.
No, I just.
Okay. Good luck. Meanwhile, Dacian, what are you doing?
At this point, he's probably been having a short conversation with the tiny little black ferret on his shoulder, in between stuffing sweets in Little Thing's mouth. He's gonna walk over towards Leonard.
And Leonard will kind of look up. It's like, oh, hello. May I help you?
Dacian dips into a strangely odd bow, very reminiscent of how he used to bow before he died. So very proper, before straightening up.
That definitely makes Leonard look quite surprised at you, actually.
Obviously, the wings are probably pinned to his back. They're not going to be just like slapping everybody around. I was directed your way, actually, by some friends who were recommending you for abilities to further my own footing here. You are in need of someone, perhaps, who could fix books?
The moment you say that, Dacian, you definitely see his ears shoot up. And if you could see a twinkle in his eye, it would definitely be there. And he's like, books, you say?
I'm
Like-
quite proficient with them, actually. I once dealt with them quite intimately.
Weeks left time. Are we talking spell books, history books, biographies, all sorts?
All sorts, actually. The little ferret on his shoulder gives a derisive snort.
He
If
kind
it
of
was a book
eyes-
and it had pages, he had it.
Very interesting. Wait a second. Did a certain Bandersnatch happen to send you my way, by chance?
Indeed. I was recommended to come to see you from her.
Ah, she has a good eye for talent, I would say that. I mean, of course. I mean, kind of wish we weren't, knee deep in a celebration at the moment, or else I would see to it that we could actually talk in a more business sense. But he kind of looks at Rose and will kind of motion for you to come over. Oh, Rose, can you come here for a second?
Yes, your lordship. And just kind of shuffles out of their chair and over to Leonard's side.
Beep, beep.
I left something on my table. He kind of points across the room. It's like, can you bring it over here for me, please?
Of course. Leonard Rose puts on this like overly pleasant face, and then as soon as they turn away, it goes deadpan as they walk towards the table.
Mouse
So
literally.
like a. Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Mouse literally looks between Daisy and looks between Rose, looks back at Daisy, and is like, well, he looks about as thrilled to be here as you are.
Leonard will actually look at Mouse and then look at Daisy and it's like, I suppose it's a familiar of yours?
Of a sort.
Ah,
Mouse has been a companion to me for several years prior to my arrival here. And as a result of circumstances, we are still, I suppose the term would be, pacted here as well as it was at home.
makes sense. Things tend to happen oddly.
As Rose approaches the table, Leonard pointing out, then, do they notice anything at all that can save them from boredom?
On the table itself, Leonard definitely has one of his book bags kind of just open and strewn out all over the place. It's a mess, as it always is. Metatron has warned you about this particular little habit of his of just sort of letting everything kind of like just explode over wherever he sets things down. Aside from several books, like why the hell would he bring books to a party? Definitely goes through your head. More importantly, it looks to be fireworks. There's fireworks sticking out of his bag.
Rose does the shifty eye. They're going to go kind of retrieve the books, and then at the same time, they're like kind of trying to scoop with their arm the book into toward their body, but also to sneak one of the fireworks to pocket away.
Now, these fireworks are semi-long. They're basically Roman candles, if you know what that is.
All right. Assuming that I can kind of somewhat, if my shape is somewhat malleable, I'm going to try to kind of meld it into me, so it's kind of like behind my blazer. Then.
Okay, that's very easy for you to know.
And then they walk back over to Leonard. What is the title on the book, by the way?
The title is actually all muddled and scratched out, so this book has seen some days.
Your lordship, here is your Clatu Barata. I don't know, I'm sure it's something that you understand.
Leonard kind of gently takes away from it. It's like, it's a cookbook.
Out of character, how to cook 40 primordials.
I was gonna out of characterly vote the Nibblenomicon.
But anyway, Leonard will take it after kind of whispering that it's a cookbook to Rose, and then turn to Daisy with a nice, bright smile. It's like, okay, so I admit I was a little clumsy with this one, and kind of threw it at the head of the Waterlord in a fit of an argument, and he kind of turns it and shows all the water damage, and there's a gunshot through it.
Dacian kind of just takes it. Is he offering it to Dacian to take, or?
Yes. He's like,
Okay.
basically, he's giving it over to Dacian almost as a test. And basically, Leonard is like, you can return this to me at any time, but if you can manage to fix this, I think we might have some business for you.
Okay. Dacian will take it carefully, turning it over in his hands and looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
I admit the damage to it is rather extensive. You say you threw it at him, and I presume he shot it as a result?
You see Leonard kind of lean to one side, looking kind of past Daisy into a figure leaning against a pillar, talking to a sort of hunched over, draconic looking woman. It's like, yeah, you could say that.
Well, it certainly won't be a quick task to replenish it. He's
Well,
turning it
we
over
have
in his
plenty of time.
hands carefully, like if he can pull it
I'm
open
printing one out
gently
now.
so as not to damage like the pages inside. He's,
Mhm.
gonna open it up a little bit just so he can better see like how much damage is on the pages.
It's definitely been waterlogged. Several
Shot.
pages. Yeah, it's been waterlogged, shot. Several recipes look like the ink has run out, etc. It's in rough shape.
Do you have a point of reference for some of the recipes that may or may not be easily fixable? Some are moderately safe and still intact. However, some of them have bled out rather thoroughly.
Leonard seems to pause for a moment and think. His fingers go up to his mouth and his chin as he taps them. It's like, I can get you one, but I need to get back home with that.
If you could, it would be helpful, only to replace the recipes inside. The book in its, general state are as repairable as it can be. I may have to duplicate and transcribe it into a new tome, but I fear some of the recipes that I'm not familiar with I would be more hard pressed to replace without asking others what they may have been.
Oh, I don't actually plan to use the cookbook. It's more a case of for show and. Yeah, hold on. Oh, hold on. I have to go AFK for a second, so if we want, we can shift the focus after this little bit, so you guys can roleplay on your own. But Leonard will kind of nod his head at this. It's like, the moment I can get home and actually get the point of reference for you, I'll be able to get that for you. But do you think for now you could just prepare the actual tome itself?
I can do my best, certainly.
I would be very much appreciative. There's no time limit on this. Take your time, but if you can manage to do that, I will definitely consider your business in the future.
You have my thanks and my appreciation for your trust in my abilities.
Of course. With that, I will leave the floor open for roleplay. I do need to do something real quick, and I'll be right back.
Alright, I have a thing for Leonard, but I'll wait till your turn.
Is Flick's done talking with the Lord?
Yeah, I'm just gonna wander away and pretend that didn't happen and try with another.
Suddenly, there are two rabbits in front of you. One magnificent-looking one, and one okay-looking, I guess.
Mm.
I don't ever recall seeing Meyer short.
And my, aren't you amazingly beautiful? Tell me, do you naturally have hair like that, or is it something that you must put product?
Flix's eyes light up. Why, yes! And I'm gonna go into a gigantic detail of my morning routine to get my hair looking as pristine as it is.
Tiberius will nod fervorously.
You start to see Various's eyes glaze over as his head leans back. Ugh.
Oh my, is there something wrong with your friend? He looks like he's about to keel over.
No, he's a little slow. Please continue about your routine with your hair. It's amazing.
Oh.
Amazing.
Oh, well then, one moment. I pat the slow rabbit on the head. It's okay! You will understand one day.
You see
You-
his eyes narrow. I am the opposite of slow. And if you would kindly take your hand off my head.
Tiberius, we're trying to make friends.
I was just giving you a tiny pat. I thought that was a good thing. It's not a good thing!
Look what you've done, Various.
Eyes well up with tears. I can't do this!
No, please. My friend did not mean to insult you. In fact, in our culture, that is a endearing trait. Yes.
I pull out a
Right,
paper
right.
bag, hyperventilating into it.
Various, look what you've done. You may have jeopardized everything.
Various doesn't. He looks more amused than not.
So, pardon me. My name is Remington, and this is my friend Markin, and we were told that you might be the person to talk to about what are they called again?
Sigils.
Sigils, yes, that thing. Do you know anything about?
It's a pleasure to meet you. I know of sigils. They do things for outsiders.
Good.
Excuse me a minute. Turn around and pep talk myself to get my composure back.
Is
You
this
can
seriously?
do this, Flix. It's just a little rabbit. It's fine. It didn't mean anything by it. You are strong. You are like Jericho.
You realize our ears are large enough we can hear you, right?
Shh, let him keep going. This will give us an advantage.
It hurt me. It's breaking the cycle. Okay, I can do this. It's all right. I'm taller than them, therefore I have the advantage. I turn around and whirl around on my heel. So good, rabbits. What did you want again?
Sigils.
Wow, that was almost a munition.
Yes, of course. Of course I can give you sigils. They're in my other pack at home. Yes, that sounds legit.
Ferris, does that sound right?
That doesn't sound right.
It sounds legit.
I mean, this one's obviously sure that they have sigils back there. Maybe we should just let them get some for us.
Oh, hang on a second. I can't just give out sigils to anybody who wants them.
Why not? There's this long pause, I guess.
Give me 1 minute. I'll be right back.
Excellent. Though I would love to know your name so that in case, you don't come back, I know who to ask for. And he's gone. See, Varys, this is why you don't talk. You scare things.
You're the one who almost gets us killed repeatedly, like at that
Yeah.
bar.
Hey, they watered down their drinks. That's not my problem. And at least I'm trying to make friends. You're just sitting there with that scowl on your face. And honestly, could you hide your teeth a little bit more? I think they think it's a threatening gesture.
My teeth? Your teeth poke out.
My teeth are perfectly normal for a noble of my stature. For you, it's more a threatening grimace whenever you... Like that, what you're doing.
If I didn't need you, I swear. He groans and just sighs. He's yes, man.
Yep.
Join in.
The floor, go. The floodgates have been released.
Yeah,
Don't
right.
make me come over and talk to you.
Please don't make Flix go over and talk to you.
Yeah, right now at the moment, Rose is still somewhat close to Leonard. They are still looking back over to the books on Leonard's table and wondering how well they would do as a blunt force object.
Kind of one-track mind there.
Oh my god, roast for a piccolo.
Oh my god, that's perfect. Wow.
Who's gonna be Gohan?
Whoa, whoa.
Okay.
Oh my god.
There's
Whoa.
Oh, sorry, Nova.
I was
Flix?
about to say I need to eat real quick.
That's fine.
So if you guys want to take this opportunity to get a 10-minute break in or continue role playing, it's up to you. I'll eat as fast as I can.
Yep.
Actually expected to be done about another hour later, but I guess not. So
Flix,
DM
it sounds like
briefly
you're going to be the Gohan.
DM briefly AFK, so I'll leave you guys to roleplay or do as you wish for now.
Dacian will walk over towards Rose. You serve Leonard, yes?
More or less. Kind of puts on a grin that's not. It's one of those grins that's not really a grin.
A smile that just doesn't meet the eyes.
So is that the task that you find so tedious, or is it more the social aspects of the party? Or the lack thereof?
Well, if you must really know here. No, you see here, my lordship has tasked me here to, well, first of all, watch over his well-being, but thought it'd be nice for me to, I guess, socialize a little bit more. Which, I mean, look, you've seen the guy. Don't you think that's a little bit ironic coming from him? Let's be honest here.
Far be it from me to judge. However, I can say that I do share your sentiment about social gatherings and socializing when one doesn't desire to. I always found more companionship with books than I did at the fancy parties and soirees of the cities.
Is that I see. And Rose kind of looks to the book that Leonard gave. That gave Dace. It was Dacian that was given the book, right? I do
Yeah,
believe so.
Dacian.
That's what I thought. Kind of looks at the book there, and it's, well, at least Leonard's heart is in the right place. I mean, granted, he gave you a book that looks like it came previously from a morgue, but yeah, there's still some material in there, I suppose.
As with all things, they can be repaired if they're broken. In this case, however, I'm not sure one should really proceed to use books as weapons, at least in this manner. There are many other ways you can.
Ooh.
Case in point, though, you don't seem to be finding this a very thrilling party.
Well,
Have you considered the outer edge, where more excitement is going on?
well, I mean, kinda, sorta there. Rose just kind of looks left and right and sees if Leonard's paying attention and just decides doesn't matter if Leonard's paying attention. Doing so. And then kind of leans into Daisy and it's like, I'm slightly dying slowly on the inside right now, so if you have anything in mind, please.
Little ferret on his shoulder perks up at that point. Something in mind. Oh, I could give you something in mind. Dacian looks to the ferret. I don't think that's a good idea, Mouse. The ferret. Oh, come on. It's deader in here than, one of your father's balls. This could only be livened up with something else going on. And I'm adorable. Who's going to say something to me?
Pardon me if you don't mind my inquisiting. Well, it's kind of obvious that you're not exactly like me. For one, your body is not composed of molten jello. So where do you hail from?
Void, was where I ended up.
Ah, alright, well, we're more or less on the same page. Get it, page? That was supposed to be a joke because you're holding a book, and you like books, and
There's a groan from
Oh God,
across
your
the
jokes are
room.
worse than mine.
Ouch.
Damn.
Clicks, get out of here.
Can't help it. Can't help it, man. It's just what I do. So, while you two are talking, there is a Fae walking by, going over to a satchel, pulling out this kooky-looking pig with wings, and hugging it tight.
Dacian will kind of shake his head after the pun and whatnot. Meanwhile, Mouse will actually skitter down off of his shoulder and hop up on the nearest table where there's a tray of snacks. Perching up on his fat little back end. Hey, look how many of these I can stuff in my mouth. And he starts grabbing cookies.
Ferris, that thing is eating all the food.
If it wants to eat all the food, let it eat all the food. I have my own food.
But it's delicious, and it's eating it all.
Do you remember last time?
How many more times will we be shot at? In all honesty, just if the
I'm
food is
not
gone.
talking about that. I'm talking about when you ate something that you didn't know the name of.
Please. It was only a slight tummy problem.
I was stuck sitting and waiting for you for 4 hours.
I have very delicate insides.
I thought you were dead.
Almost, but you know. Fine, let the little thing eat it, and maybe it will have the tummy.
Well, if nothing else, it's a good test.
Right. Look at those two. That one's made of fire, and that one has something. Wings? Are they?
They certainly look like. Oh, there's the person we were talking to, I think.
And it's hugging. What is that? A ham?
I'm not sure what they're called.
I'm sure there's something.
Okay, Truffles. Okay, we can do this. We just have to find a sigil. And then profit. No, that's not right. And then new friends. Yes, I'm supposed to be social, so okay. Sounds let's try this.
Rose just kind of hears the banter between the pig and Flicks, and just kind of looks around there, and they voice low enough, probably low enough that just only Dacian would hear. Fae bullshit. Why does it always have to be Fae bullshit?
Call back.
He offers back just as quietly, because if it wasn't, it would be something worse, no doubt.
There's something worse? There's nothing worse!
You may be surprised.
Oh,
Just kind of gives them that look like, I've seen some shit.
did you seriously say there's nothing worse than Faye?
Now you jinxed the party.
Oh dear. Oh no.
There's something
More
worse
lemon
here,
plate.
eh? There's rabbits. At some point during all of the cookie shoving, Dacian's gonna literally scruff Mouse and plop him back on his shoulder.
Ah, he has the same look you have, Various. Yeah, that one.
Mm.
Maybe you and he would get along. Perhaps he can give us a sigil. Go, speak to him. He's holding a book. You like books, it's obvious.
Doesn't.
Shove across the floor if I have to. You're going right towards Daisy.
I had
You got this, Various.
out of character, I just have this image now of of Tibbs just casting various across the floor like a curling rock.
Legit.
So, Dacian, you probably see this spotty rabbit-like creature being pushed by a slightly thinner white rabbit creature.
Handsome, white and red, thank you.
Mm.
He's just gonna kind of look up, one eyebrow just going up like, okay? That's not something you see every day.
Tell me there's a squeak noise as he crosses the floor, like that really annoying squeak sneaker sound, you know.
Oh god.
You see that the larger of the two rabbits has tried to dig his claws in, only it's a pretty slick stone floor, so it's not doing much. He looks back at Tiberius as they finally come to a stop in front of you two.
And you've got the hiccup thumbs up coming from Tiberius right now.
Mouse takes that moment to shove the last bite of cookie in his mouth while he's still on Dacian's shoulder and just kind of like quirks his head at them. Meanwhile, Dacian's, can I help you?
We were wondering if you could help us with a little intellectual pursuit.
All right. What type of intellectual pursuit?
Locating something called a sigil? You see, my friend and I have been told repeatedly that if we want to last long here, we require one, but haven't had much luck in actually figuring out how to acquire one.
There are different ways, as I gather. I'm not sure. I mean, I certainly don't have any. I'm not sure I would be able to procure them for you.
Various turns his attention to Rose, as if also asking him.
What? Why are you looking at me like that?
Well, do you happen to know how to get a sigil?
Rose just kind of does a blank look and kind of their eyes kind of swivel around. Signs point to nope.
Do you happen to have any idea where we ask someone? So far, people seem to know, but then just send us away.
Like they don't like outsiders or something, honestly.
Hush.
You're not entirely wrong about that. It's a complicated subject.
What's not to love about us? Look at us. We're adorable.
Mouse gives a snort.
I mean, me more so than him, but
An even louder snort combined with a chuckle.
I'm going to be very honest. We're very much out of our element. Our trip here was a little bit unplanned.
that's one way of putting it. I mean,
Well, you're not wrong. You certainly stand out.
We do.
oh yes, we're not made of flame, Various. It's obvious.
Well,
Plus,
even amongst the other ones who aren't made of flame.
are you made of granite? You're spotty. Of course you stand out. Plus, with those clothes, honestly.
They're the same as yours.
Mine have filigree, yours do not. It is completely different.
He snorts, and you see his rear leg thump the ground.
Or is that
his
how we're going
foot.
to act in public, honestly?
Dacian lets out a sigh. Have you tried talking with Auntie?
Auntie?
Please tell me it's not a giant ant. Those things are
No.
disgusting.
No, Auntie is a Bandersnatch, I suppose would be the closest animal I could think.
What's a Bandersnatch, Various? It sounds like something you'd know
Gosh darn it, if Nova was here, I would roll. No.
of.
Uh,
I
well,
mean, do you have Arcana or History? I'd roll
I
that and just
do.
go.
The
Oh,
dumbass
oh,
DM has returned. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
there we-
hello.
Welcome back.
Wow,
Just in time.
almost like summon.
Can I need to roll to see if I know what a Bandersnatch is.
Go for it. I
Okay.
would say roll history.
Oh my goodness, the crackles. Okay,
I'm
Okay,
so
history.
sorry.
so I'm not the only one who hears it.
Okay.
Thank God.
I would say roll. I need a new microphone. Roll history for me, please.
Okay, history or okay.
History.
Okay. Shoot.
Ugh, no. You could have swore that you've heard that name somewhere, but it's kind of sitting on the tip of your tongue, like, oh, where have I heard it? Where have I heard it? It does, you can swear you've heard of it. It just doesn't come to mind.
I'm afraid I don't know.
What good is all those books you read if you can't remember a single thing from them?
Listen,
Honestly,
you're putting me on the spot.
I'm putting you
I
on the
need some
spot.
food.
I offered you snacks. Now the little black thing has eaten all of them.
Various, please roll me a perception roll, please.
Oh no. Oh no.
It's okay. Glacia won't kill us yet. Well, not at least not me.
Considering the fact that you were talking about food, your eyes almost immediately head to the table next to you, and there's just a spread of a ton of savory food, meats, salads, cheeses. It's all over the place. It is literally within your arm's reach.
May I roll a willpower? Or wait, what?
Yes,
Oh shoot.
you may.
I'm so used to I'm sorry, people. I'm used to Pathfinder. What is the
Roll wisdom.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a will save.
Okay, you just kind of barely hold yourself back. Like, it smells so good, but you're just like, focus, and you look back
Oh,
for now.
right. Auntie. Where do we run it? Where do we find this auntie person?
Over the hedge. It's in the underworks.
What my friend means to say is, could you be a little bit more specific? We've been wandering here for a while, and the signs aren't exactly written in Hopolition, so...
Hopolition.
Yes. Our species, our race, the ears, the teeth, the
Not our
magnificent...
species.
For the hell of it, does Rose recognize the term Hopolition?
Please don't. Please don't. Sweet Jesus, don't.
Let me roll something.
No, Nova, this is bad.
Oh boy.
What do I
Not
roll?
quite.
Oh, not quite. Okay.
Not quite. There's a familiarity to it. You can see kind of the rabbit-looking creatures,
Oh.
but you've seen a lot of rabbits, from the marsh hare to far beyond that, and you've definitely seen a lot of rabbits, so it doesn't quite ring any specific bells.
All right. Where's Leonard at the moment?
Leonard is still by the long purple table, basically where Rose was originally sitting.
Mhm.
He has gone back to talking with the strange starry-haired person that has the long cape and the bizarrely armored outfit.
All right. Rose looks over to Daisian and the Buns. If you would all excuse me a moment,
Well, of course.
I need to check with something official. And
Mouse gives Rose a look. Please don't leave me here.
Rose just kind of looks over him, and just kind of silently mouths, "Too bad." And he's excuse me, Leonard, do you have a moment, please?
Leonard kind of looks back, The figure who he was talking to just kind of rolls their eyes, like, really? Leonard kind of looks down and looks over you, Rose. It's like, of course. What is it, Rose?
Leonard, your lordship, holy father, I'm losing my goddamn mind here.
Leonard's ears kind of lower, and it's like, did you want to go outside and do the other stuff?
Just
Or-
something, anything. I'm stuck here in the middle. One side of this room is totally turning the gentry. The other side, those rabbits are showing up, is turning the freaking Wonderland in here.
Wait, what?
Oh,
I mean, I know that we definitely get some who are from Wonderland here, but is it that bad?
Tiberius is waving dramatically.
Rose just kind of pinches the bridge of their nose. Remind me again, please. Why was I reincarnated under you again?
You sort of fell into my palace and died. So,
So your guess is as good as his.
I mean, you could have fallen anywhere, really, or you could have fallen into plain water and drowned. Of course, you fell into mine and burned to death. You could have fallen into wind and until you aged and died of old age. There's a lot of terrible, terrible fates that you could have been thrown to by them.
Rose just kind of blankly looks at Leonard's explanation, quote unquote, there. So basically, your answer is I participated in a Plinko game running an asylum.
Yeah! His ears kind of shoot up at that.
Gotten in one.
Worse. It could have been much, much worse. Much worse. He doesn't just looks horrified for a few seconds.
Yes, I've heard that phrase a lot there. Anyways, can I please do something or other here?
He kind of frowns at you and it's like, tell you what, I'll dismiss you for now so you can go do whatever you want. I just expect you back at the palace by the time I roughly get back. Is that okay?
Rose just kind of nods and yes, please, and thank you from the bottom of whatever remains of my heart.
He kind of looks at you sidelong and they kind of leans in for a whisper. It's like, I give you express permission to play a prank on Metatron after this, okay? And see, I know he'd be kind of submitted to this fiasco.
This is agreeable.
He kind of nods, like, I'm probably gonna be here for the next. He kind of rolls his sleeve back, pending to check the time, but there's really nothing there. It's like, sorry, old habit. He kind of looks at the starry figure. It's like, how much longer does this last for? There's a long pause between the two, and he kind of frowns. Oh, about 12 more hours. And Leonard's ears droop. Oh! Great! Fantastic. You just
What?
it looks as if the soul has just left Leonard.
Rose just kind of does a slightly condescending pat on Leonard's shoulder. Well, that's why they pay you the big bucks. Have fun! And then strolls off.
They don't pay me at all. That's what you hear when you leave. It's like, they don't pay me at all. But Rose, you are now free to do as you please. You are no longer currently employed under Leonard's service at the moment. He has dismissed you for the day.
Oh right. So I guess the first thing Rose is gonna do is see what other commotion is happening outside of this room.
This particular room, since it's near the entryway of the council hall, leads to a long hallway heading outside, so out into the foundry itself. The moment you sort of leave the hall behind and out away from, the low murmur of Fancy McFancy Pants party back there, you hear music. You hear much louder voices and are overwhelmed with the smell of food and all that kind of good stuff. The stuff that you would usually encounter at a lively carnival. And yes, he abandoned Dacian. With Flicks and the bunnies.
Mouse is just like looking at Daisy, like, I mean, this is OC, but literally having the thought of, can Glacia just shoot us now?
Dacian, go ahead and make a perception check for me, please.
Oh god.
Don't worry, it's not that. Oh yeah, you don't even notice Rose outright yeeting himself out of this place. Is
Would
anyone else
Mouse?
paying it? Mouse, actually, go ahead and roll his own perception check, so you should have it on his sheet as well.
Because he's already determined if this man has a shoe, or if this being has a shoe, he's going to shit in it.
Oh yeah, Mouse, you definitely noticed as Rose left your vicinity and went to talk to a being with a lot of fiery hair.
Tiny little paw comes up to his eyes, points at Rose, back to his eyes.
And Mouse literally watches as Rose just outright leaves the place.
He's gonna remember that.
Mouse to remember this. Now the question is, will Mouse tell Dacian this?
I mean, yeah, probably.
Is this the point where Mouse gets a fated rival?
I mean, let's be honest. I think everybody is at some point or another been Mouse's rival or will be Mouse's rival.
Mm-hmm.
And it just varies whether you're gonna get, sassed really bad or he's gonna do something horrible like, curl up on your face while you're sleeping.
I can see that. But Rose, you have officially left out into the commerce ring of the Foundry. So leaving everyone else behind in the fancy party suffer.
So, question. Dacian would be familiar enough with the Foundry and
Yes.
Auntie's bar to be able to give the rabbits proper directions to over the hedge. Okay. So he's going to offer them directions to Auntie's fine establishment. Oh, but she's probably there at the moment.
No, she's not. You would actually know this as well. You would know that she would be out with her booth at the carnival portion of the party.
Okay. Would he be able to direct them to that?
Yes.
Okay. So he will offer directions to that location, to the bunnies.
So the auntie's at this stall, and that's the person we should talk to for sigils. See, that wasn't very hard.
She'd be able to give you more information, yes, if not perhaps outright direct you to who can get them arranged for you. Auntie has many talents.
Once again, various. It's up to a Vermont to find the proper answer. Thank you very much.
Who did all the talking this time?
That's beside the point. I got results.
He snorts.
So, pardon my friend here, lack of tact. Your name again, good.
Dacian Matheo. And my companion, Mouse.
Thank you, Dacian and Mouse. We are most obliged to have you assist us in such a way, and we will certainly repay the favor, won't we, Various?
Yes, we will repay the favor.
I wish
Now,
you best of luck.
Now, we must speak with the blonde one with the golden locks to ensure that that one hasn't perhaps gone insane, because they're still speaking with that.
All right, Flix, let's turn the camera back to you. So,
I go over to Jericho holding the pig. The pig is out. Things are bad.
Jericho's kind of just staring at Flix, and it's like, "Oh, you have truffles out.
It happened again.
Oh." You see the moth feelers on his head kind of droop down a little bit, and he kind of reaches a hand out and sort of gently pats you on the shoulder. It's like, you kind of did approach Madaroct. They're not
No, it wasn't him. It was the bunnies.
Wait, bunnies?
They were short and they had ears and fur everywhere. And they said something about me, and I can't remember it anymore, but I know it was bad.
Oh,
It was literally 5 minutes ago.
He's got the memory of a goldfish. Unless it's about songs.
But Jericho kind of looks around like, bunnies? What do you... And he kind of... His eyes eventually do settle on, Tibbs and, Various, and he's like, that's strange, I've never seen them.
I tried to make friends with them and be cordial and like you, and then the one with the floppy ears was just very, very
Rude, you say? Well,
Oh.
show me
the
these
rudest.
bunnies. Show me these bunnies. And there's a deadpan look on his face, and a darkness kind of falling over his eyes.
Oh,
This
no.
way.
And Jericho's following you.
So, do we see them
Tibbs
coming?
and Various, if you would make perception rolls for me, please.
Oh,
Decent, you can definitely see Flix coming back.
Jim's just going to the bathroom in a second.
hey!
Oh,
Yeah.
Vari. With that nat 20, you feel the fur on the back of your neck stand straight up. Something feels off. And it's almost as if there's like some sort of creeping influence kind of beginning to crawl onto your back in a way that is incredibly alien, but it chills you to the bone. Someone is staring daggers at you,
What that means is your rabbit sense is tingling.
essentially.
That's normal.
Tibbs, go ahead and roll a perception for me, please.
Why would I?
Because the RNG gods demand it.
Okay, well, you don't quite get the same feeling as Varius does, but you definitely notice that there's now someone behind you with a very familiar outline shadow of Flix as well. They came with backup.
Ah, good, he's returned. Quick spin on the, I guess, rabbit foot.
And you are met not with Flix immediately. Instead, there's a figure between you and him. It is a very tall, almost alien lithe figure that looks almost like a cross between a man and a moth. They have a long draping cape looking thing behind them that are actually a pair of vibrant blue moth wings. And they have a very regal and fancy, almost strange air about them. And they have long jet black hair that's almost curly, that goes a little past their shoulders, and two moth-like antennae that come up from the top of their head and are slicked backwards. And they
Why?
look happy.
By Serena's grace. Various, what have you done? You've angered one of the moth children.
He kind of
You
leans into Flix and's like, I see what you mean by rude.
Rude? You're the one who petted me on the head.
I was being kind.
I will have to agree with Flix on this one. You basically turned a gentle gesture into an insult.
They
And
called
just-
us short.
But
Various,
you are.
Various is gonna let out a sigh. Sorry, Various is gonna let out a sigh. Various on. I'm sorry for my friend. He is untrained in the ways of the court. Please, I apologize. And Various, you should be ashamed. Truly, he meant the best ways, didn't you? Blonde-haired, golden-locked one.
My name is Flix, and yes, I did. And this is Truffles. I hold up the paper to your face.
That is disgusting.
The-
Yes, truffles. That's wonderful.
the moth-like being kind of leans down over you two. He is definitely way taller than both of you. And he kind of is sizing you up and it's like, who are you two?
My name is Remington, and this is my friend.
Markin.
Thank you. And we're outsiders simply looking to try and find our way in this place. Isn't that right?
Yes.
I mean, Markin.
Well, let me enlighten you to just a tiny little detail. The person you insulted is an in-training ambassador for the Fey courts here, specifically the Sealy court here in the Foundry. I'd recommend that you apologize immediately.
Yes, Varys, you should apologize immediately.
Both of you.
I'm sorry for what Various did.
Bus various. Beep beep.
This is how the
Various-
bunnies die.
Various takes a deep breath and is, I am sorry for being rude.
I'd recommend that you potentially curb that rude tongue. He does lean in a little bit, and you see like kind of these shadows fall over his eyes, and as his tone becomes a little bit more malicious. Lest you choose to lose your life because of it. And he almost pulls back immediately, and the shadows fade away.
Honestly, Varys, can you not keep your temper in check for one moment?
Would be
Oh,
easier without the constant
It's okay. I understand you lesser beings are like this. They were looking for sigils, Jericho.
Well, Jericho kind of looks at Flix, a brow raised. It's like, they don't have one already? Why are they out?
No, they're bunnies.
That shouldn't mean anything. Then why are they out near curfew?
They're short.
There's a long pause from Jericho, and he's
Various
that
gives
dance.
Various gives Jericho the look like, you see? You see?
He's like, yes, I know my apprentice is an idiot.
When you give him that look, he kind of just looks at you, brow still raised, and is like, "Well, you are short."
Mm,
I have boots. You can't tell because of the heel. It's 6 inches high.
Anyway, Flix, he
they
kind of-
also said they'd help us and then just disappeared.
Well, I had to go get truffles because you insulted me and I needed to consult with truffles.
Wait, you said you were going to help them?
Well, we can give sigils, can't we?
We, technically yes, but
The best kind of yes.
I believe Flix promised to bring a sigil.
he kind of freezes and then looks at Flix. He's like, "You what?"
I had punch.
God damn it.
Please don't tell me you made an oath.
Yes, one of those.
I had lots of punch. The tall golden tan guy was creepy. So I had lots of punch. And then I met rabbits.
Flix, you know when you make an oath, you have to see it through.
What does that mean? Are you saying I'm responsible for them?
Yes?
I can't be responsible for them. I'm not even responsible for me.
Oh, you should have thought of that before you made a promise with them.
But I didn't make a promise. I made an oath. Damn it.
Tiberius is so happy his lie has worked.
And Jericho just pats him on the shoulder. It's like, you fix this.
But they tricked me.
You fix this.
How?
He kind of rubs his temples, thinking. The only one I can think can get you out of this mess is Auntie.
Okay, but isn't she creepy and bandersnatchy?
Yes, and she is also the leader of the Sealy Council.
I know, but you know what I'm like around things that aren't beautiful.
Kind of.
I hyperventilate. You know this.
I know.
That's why I've got truffles. I need support.
Then take truffles with you.
That's a
How many
brilliant
people
idea.
are
This is why
staring
you're
at
my
this
leader.
point?
Hmm?
How many people are staring at this point?
Everyone.
Dacian and Mouse definitely are.
Glacia is staring. Vexir is staring. Makumba and Mataroct are staring. Leonard and the starry-haired figure are definitely staring, as well as everyone else around the room. They're just kind of watching you as the murmur of the crowd kind of dips to almost nothing.
Mouse looks at Dacian. You think we're gonna get to see someone get shot today?
But Jericho kind of looks right back at you, Flix. It's like, take them to Auntie. Have to talk to them. And maybe she'll be...
You're right.
able to
Maybe she
take
can
them
off
your
them.
hands?
Yeah, into the pit. We have a pit, right?
Wait, Pit?
You know the pit?
He kind of stares. It's like,
I thought there was a pit. Why have I been lied to my whole life?
Wait, what?
I don't understand. Where's the pit?
Flix, we're the Sealy court, not the Unsealy.
So there's no pit.
We don't have one.
Who has the pit?
They do.
They stole our pit. Damn Unsealy.
Perhaps this
Every
one.
time.
Perhaps this one didn't make such an oath.
I am in the middle of a conversation with my mentor. Thank you very much. Please stay out. I am in a moment. A moment, damn it, a moment.
There's a
You,
big air.
Can I just very quickly point out something?
Sure.
We don't have a pit.
Various
It was
Gently.
stolen.
gently tugs Flix's shirt.
Me and my wings. They're on my back. Dragonfly wings. Don't touch them.
Whichever. You do realize everyone's looking at us, right?
Well, of course they are. Look at me. I'm beautiful.
Jericho just finally notices this. It's like, that's not why they're looking.
That's always why they're looking. My hair glistens. I went through my entire routine with the taller bunny with the up ears. And I might even give him some of that sparkle glitter so that he can be pretty too.
That's not what they're staring at us for, Flix.
Of course it is.
No, it's because you're making a scene.
No, I'm not. I don't do that anymore.
There's a
It
crowd.
happened like one time this week.
I have to be an expert. At
But
making
if I have a crowd,
Oh no.
I pull out my guitar. Slash lute.
Roll a performance check.
I apologize, Darius.
And you
I
can
didn't know.
you can already see Jericho. His face is in his hands.
An actual apology. Probably
Uh,
the first.
I'll take the first roll because the second roll is at advantage, which you don't quite have yet. You start strumming around on your guitar, but it's obvious that it's kind of not hitting with the crowd, as they're definitely not really paying much attention to you anymore. They're kind of looking away and returning to what they were doing. So the dull roar of chatter once again returns to the area.
And crisis averted.
Look what you've done, Darius.
Yeah, various.
I didn't do anything.
Exactly.
Ugh.
You could have helped, but you didn't. And now I'm stuck bonded to you.
Wait, what?
Wait.
Come
What was
on,
that?
rabbit servants. We have work to do.
Wha-
Jericho kind of pipes in. It's like, when a fae promises an oath to someone, we're usually expected to carry it out, unless dire punishment is carried out.
Tiberius is going to cup a hand over Varys' mouth before he mixes this. Sounds good. Let's go. Yep.
Now, I have many a bag that needs to be carried properly, like, so I will give them to you when the time is right, which is not now, but it'll be soon.
Dacian, you see Jericho kind of turn to you and kind of mouth I'm so sorry.
Dacian walks over, kind of curious at the same time as terrified about what that exactly means and what he may or may not be getting roped into.
He kind of motions at the rabbits at this point, like, so sorry for disturbing the peace here.
It's quite alright. Sometimes people just don't handle parties well.
Well, I mean, these are kind of... I mean, this party is very much not in the normal.
That's not an inaccurate assessment.
I mean, considering this is actually the most boring part of it all, the real good stuff is outside. But no, we have a bit of a reason for being here, or at least I do. He kind of pauses and looks at Reed. He seems like, and I saw you speaking with these rabbits a little bit ago. Are they causing you any trouble either? I could report them to the lords.
Dacian, are the rabbits still there?
Yeah, they're right in front of you guys.
Oh god, okay. Dacian looks at them, kind of gives it a... like, he's really thinking it over for a minute, you know? Dark lips, like, scrunched up in a pouty thinking face. Just... while the idea of it to get them properly acquainted to the rules is tempting, at the same time... perhaps that would be a bit much. They seem rather lost. Perhaps they just need a guiding hand to show them the right way. Mouse pipes in, that is not our hand!
Well, I mean, my apprentice already seems to have gotten roped into that one.
Dacian looks at Flix. Flix has the guitar now, not the pig.
Mm-hmm.
I see. Well, I'm sure that will be a very eventful experience.
I mean, as long as it gets them out of the council hall, it might work. I could probably tell Flix about the stage outside that's playing live music.
Please no.
Live music?
Yes.
He's gone.
Oh.
He's gone.
And then in the moment, Jericho kind of turns to try to stop Flix, and he's gone.
The rabbits are just looking at the smoke outline, being like, where did it go?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Quick, after it.
Can I trouble you three to go make sure he doesn't get himself killed?
Isn't
Do we
he the
have
one
to?
that's supposed to help us?
Mouse
Yes, but
literally
I'm
looks at him. Oh,
asking
sorry.
you.
Mouse
Okay.
looks at him. And do we get something out of keeping him from hurting himself or others?
I'll think about it. I might have something for you all, but just please don't let him get himself killed. I kinda need him alive.
What happens to Fae if they die?
I would not like to think about it right now.
Very well. You have it on Varys' life that he will not die. Let's go.
What?
I wouldn't put my life forward. What are you talking about?
Mouse looked at Daisy. Do you have earplugs? I'm gonna need earplugs.
We're getting
And I
close.
guess-
Go ahead.
I guess we go after Flix.
I guess so.
Rose, give me a dex save.
Oh no.
Oh lord.
Oh yes.
Are you Kool-Aid?
Oh,
baby?
yeah.
He's
Yeah,
been
that's
waiting
what I
for
thought.
this entire.
Okay.
Oh
alright.
yeah.
Rose, as you're kind of leaving the council hall, you just feel a rush of wind go just whoosh, right past you as you just see this blur of sparkles and gold and red just fly right past you.
All right.
And you just barely avoid colliding with this damn thing, whatever the hell it was.
All right. So seconds before this, Rose is just kind of walking along, rubbing their hands together. All right. You're fine on leash at once. You're independent. You can go have a little bit of fun. And the hell was that?
And you just a blur of
There's
gold.
glitter everywhere still.
Yeah, there's glitter. It's kind of like almost like a trail that kind of, whenever you spray something in the air and it kind of stays there for a few seconds before falling. That's
You guys
just
are gonna
this
find glitter
cloud of
everywhere.
glitter. It's just this cloud of glitter instead.
Rose just watches the glitter falls and looks mortified. And I'm still in hell.
Oh no, Faye.
Oh no, don't worry. The rabbits are coming.
Yes, and almost immediately after this blur of glitter and who knows what, like, flies past you, you just see this entourage of 2 bunnies and a very dapper, pale-looking primordial with massive wings just bolt past you.
Not suspicious at all.
Not suspicious at all.
I'd like to point out I am not running on all fours. That would be beneath me.
You were when you were running from those water primordials.
And I thought this was gonna be a quiet rest today. Why am I not deserving nice things?
Oh.
You died in the fire realm. That's why.
Swapping you guys to another scene.
Rose just kind of continues sulking forward, following this menagerie.
Oh, bloody hell, there's actually a stage.
Get some new music on. Let's see. I thought I had this thing saved. I guess I did not.
Myth, that is a perfect reincarnation of what happened past the road. Just a swirl of infinite glitter.
Yep, glitter. Gets everywhere. Never goes away.
Here it is. Go, so. See if that plays properly. Of course it doesn't.
That would be too easy.
Rhythm, please. Hold on. Let me make it stop being stupid.
See, this is why you want to make sure the tape starts on the A side, not the B side.
I know, right?
I am literally wearing my B-side shirt.
Alright. As you all breach into the commerce ring, the Foundry, you'll see that the entire area is filled with merchant stalls, lights, decorations, and a ton of people, as well as the scent of food, the sound of music, and just a general jovial attitude from everyone around you. Where you've come out, you are near the water district. You can actually tell by the gate, where it almost looks like there's a pattern of ripples along the main gate entryway. About to the right of the entryway is a massive stage where you see a band kind of quietly playing music.
Not for long once Lix gets there.
Not for long. There definitely seems to be a couple of figures off to the side of the stage getting ready for a larger performance, however. A wind primordial and his band. As well as there's also several stands along the side of the roads where you currently are. 2 in particular. One is for Over the Hedge, which no Dacian, is manned by a very familiar Bandersnatch to you, and she is serving ale by the tankard here. There's a few others, some selling knickknacks, others selling pastries. There's even one selling grilled meats. What would you like to do?
Dacian's gonna try to see where the troublemaking glitter machine went. Just like looking around for the trail of explodable shiny.
You know, honestly, that should be the description of Flicks.
Bane,
Troll-
please do not join Roll20. appreciate it if it would be kept only to the players. Thank you. Anyway. You can see the stage on the live stream at the moment. But at this point, on the stage currently is a small sort of town folk band. They're playing gentle, almost relaxing, but upbeat to keep everyone in high spirits. Troublemaking butter machine.
Is it wrong?
It's not wrong. Flix, since you were the first person to basically screech into the commerce square.
Like a comet.
Like a comet.
Dan, Skippy.
Make a perception roll for me, please.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I am perceptive.
In fact, you're so perceptive that the moment you kind of screech to a halt, rather fabulously, of course.
Indeed.
You
I strike a pose.
Your eyes immediately just bullseye straight onto the stage. Indeed, Jericho was not lying. There is a live performance stage up at the
Oh,
I know, right? All these nat 20s. It's like the exact opposite of the last time.
I want to join.
You can. The band on stage definitely doesn't really pay you much mind as you essentially jump onto the stage. But there is a few odd looks around, especially from the wind primordial that's set up. But if you would like, roll a performance check.
Yes.
Oh no.
We're doomed.
I will join in. It'll be perfect.
It's okay. I'm an outsider. If I die, I'll be
Oh.
called.
It's okay, I got this.
Wow! Okay!
Told you I got this.
So you immediately, the moment you were on stage, you pull out your instrument and you just start blowing to town. Not so much so that the band itself actually joins in with you. You actually start seeing several people from around the commerce circle kind of gathering around the stage now, and they're listening. You've got all the eyes are on you at this point, and to a point where you see several people are actually cheering, they're clapping, there's a lot of excitement in the air. And as such, you gain 1 inspiration point.
Oh, wow.
Which means that you have a point to spend. I'll actually be putting it on your sheet. So in case you ever want to re-roll something, say in combat or a skill check, you will be allowed to do so at will.
Perfect.
For the rest of the group, as you kind of funnel in to the commerce square, you see this massive crowd sort of gathered around the stage. You see Flix is up there. They are absolutely shredding it compared to their performance back in the council hall.
Honestly, I don't know what they were so worried about. He seems to be doing quite well by himself.
I have to admit, it's impressive.
Surprise
Tiberius-
turn of events.
Tiberius is already shaking his booty.
Mouse looks horrified.
That's right, I'm impressed with the Rambo.
Yeah, I'll just let you have that because Bardic inspiration, just general feeling of seeing Flix just killing it on stage, playing probably some of the best music I've heard in a long time.
I mean, honestly, at this
Definitely.
point, all we have to do is ensure that the fans don't tear him apart, and we have done our duty, and then we'll get our sigil stones, like you've so worriedly, clamored about again and again and again.
Listen,
Mark,
everything was pretty clear that we were going to die without sigils.
oh, come on, we're always going to die. With you, it's every day. Oh, I woke up, I'm going to die today. Oh, today, Tiberius is going to kill me in the fight against, every day. Just, I'm going to die. Just live in the moment.
I would rather have multiple moments then just one single one before poof.
Honestly, how many moments have we had together? Various. I mean,
Too
Mark,
many.
it's hard to
Well,
remember two names.
Flex, as your performance begins to wane away, the group you have gathered leaves behind several looking nice trinkets on the stage. Most of them are completely useless, but it's a nice gesture regardless. For the group, you notice that more people are returning what their previous were doing, either perusing the stalls or just chatting on the streets.
Pardon, Dacian, how did you get roped into this exactly? I know how Various and I did, but you don't make sense here.
The misfortune of the draw, as it would seem.
Oh, so it's a crazy random happenstance.
You could put it that way, certainly.
The moon smiled down upon us. Great. So, could we just make sure that Flix doesn't die, and then we'll be squared away, and everything will be great, and we can stuff our face with more of those delicious little brown.
Well, unless he's going to fall off the stage and break his neck, or be torn apart by rabid fans in a bigger explosion of glitter, I'd say he's fairly safe at the moment.
Wow, that was very specific.
That was very specific.
Almost jinxing specific.
Oh, please. We don't believe in that, do we, Various? I mean, Marcus.
An
It's
eyebrow raise.
Markin.
Yes, that word. His name is Markin, not Various. It's Markin.
Anyway, Flix, as your performance begins to wind down to a close, you definitely see a figure entering the stage at this point, sort of climbing up the side steps. They have incredibly poofy green hair, have a very bizarre garb to them. It's difficult to really describe without saying plaid.
Ugh.
But they approach you and kind of tap you on the shoulder with a very big, goofy smile. You can't see the rest of their face because it's covered in this mess of hair. And it's like, not bad, but I'm afraid it's my time to take the stage. So, would you mind skedaddling?
And this is where the dance fight starts.
I'm sorry, who are you?
Oh no.
Who am I? He kind of puts his
Yeah!
arms on his. He kind of puts his hands on his waist. It's like, really? Really?
Yeah.
Security!
Oh,
And you see a couple of guards head over to the stage.
Well, I think this is where we're supposed to do something.
Well,
Would
hop
you-
to it. He's your guard, your charge, not
Okay.
mine.
I'm sorry, did you say hop to it? That is absolutely what we're going to do, right, Various?
Darius starts to just.
You mean Markin?
Various, Markin.
Darius starts to just make his way over and is like, "We'll take him."
Really now? He kind of motions for the guards to kind of.
Oh, hey, hang on a minute here. I
You
just
made
want to
an
know your
oath.
name.
This is my stage, Sugar Cube.
Okay, but that doesn't tell me your name.
Maybe his name is Sugar Cube.
Is your name Sugar Cube?
No.
We should have a sing-off.
Please no.
Various gets up on the stage and starts to grab the Fae's arm and try to do his best to drag him towards the edge.
Time
For
Various will let
your
Various do this.
information, my name is Eureka. I am the premier star of Wynn.
You're the Eureka?
Yeah.
Oh my.
Various keeps on trying to drag.
Can you sign my rabbit?
Can you both make me a contested strength check?
Oh, this isn't going well for me.
Here we
Don't
go.
worry, my strength is garbage too.
Okay, let me. How do I?
Oh my god!
Can you sign my rabbit?
I knew it. I knew it.
Various, you try so hard, but the moment you start start really pulling on this Fae as they're trying to keep themselves on stage, you just feel a twinge in your right hip as you get a cramp.
Oh.
It's a hernia.
It's hernia.
Can rabbits get hernias?
Oh, what?
So we lose.
It was Bane. Okay. But you just feel this twinge of pain in your right hip, just and the pain.
Oh no, we got a leg cramp.
Of them. But the wind singer, Eureka, puts a hand on his chest, kind of gives a light bow. It's like, well, of course, I'm the one stated to actually do performance right now, so.
I am so sorry, Eureka. I had no idea. I just saw a stage and had to play.
No, it's.
I'm sure you
quite
understand the need to play.
Oh, no, it's quite alright. You kind of gave me a little bit of extra time to kind of pair everything, but.
I was your opening act.
Can we just go?
This is the best day for flicks ever.
And would you
Thanks.
mind kind of getting off stage so we can get set up?
Oh yeah, yes, of course. Various move. Or Market, or whatever your name is. I boot the bunny.
The moment you kind of turn around, Flix, you kind of see poor Various kind of writhing.
Oh. I don't lift that. So other Bat Bunny, deal with that.
Various is just gonna kind of stare from the edge. He's like, Various! Ooh.
Alright.
I'm gonna step over Various.
Markin, move.
I'm gonna step over Markin
Various slowly.
and pat him. There.
Dacian's got his
Slowly.
head in that one free hand, just like pinching the bridge of his nose.
Oh no.
It's just like,
Various
oh,
is
God.
slowly limps off the stage. Ugh.
After a bit of walking, you're able to kind of work off the cramp there, and still a little tender, but maybe that was a sign not to try to pull someone probably twice.
I understand, Markin. My music gets to me too. Zaps the energy right out of you. Unless you're me, then it makes me more charged.
It's not like we'd have to run or anything. It's fine.
Who runs?
Right?
That involves sweating. Ew.
I like this fixed character.
Rose, you do kind of come into the commerce circle, and you kind of watch that whole ordeal happen. How do you feel about that?
Rose just kind of takes it in there and then kind of just goes to rub their eyes. The wake of the morning. Is this just gonna be a really bad, chaotic dream? Back in the fire realm. Be nice and warm and comfortable. Serenity now, serenity now.
Oh god, he really is our Piccolo.
You hear a voice actually pop up behind you. You look like you need a drink there, honey.
Rose will turn around there.
And as you turn around, you see a booth. A rather large booth that's kind of set up almost like a bar. And there is a bizarre-looking creature that seems to have the hands and feet of a monkey, and the fur pattern and tail of a lemur. And they're kind of looking at you and have a tankard in hand, kind of jingling in your direction.
No. Rose just kind of slowly approaches there. Normally, I don't drink with others like yourself, but at the moment I am very, very willing to make an exception to that rule.
Oh, I'm serving the same ale to everyone here in the ring tonight. Where are you from? She kind of slides the full tankard to you. It's definitely got a nice frothy head to it, and it smells like a nice, hoppy, stout ale.
Rose just kind of fingers one of the fiery curls there. I'm sure that'll answer your question there.
Oh, I know exactly where you're from in general, but what exactly is it you do? I haven't seen you around before. I know everyone.
Well, I'm still a little new to these parts here.
New, you say?
What's the term they use for, you know, people like me who just kind of crawled out of the ether, more or less?
That's what's called a formlin, honey.
Man, Wormling. That's the best term you could come up with?
That's about it. Pay in mind, I'm not the one that comes up with this kind of stuff. You're gonna have to talk to the head honchos about that one.
Oh, believe me, I've associated myself quite closely with one of them by now. Honestly, they're kind of a big nerd.
She kind of narrows her eyes at you and it's like, old Leonard, eh? Yeah, he's kind of fresh at the job. Not exactly very good at it yet. If anything, he's probably about as fresh as you are.
Oh, good. That's good to know. I'm glad to know that my leadership is at that level of competence.
I mean, compared to the last guy who was in charge, it's a pretty big upgrade.
Rose just kind of is pulling the mug closer and starts to take a sip, and then stops himself. Looks over at Auntie. What is this, by the way?
It's just a good old stout ale. Nothing big, nothing crazy. Knowing you primordial types, you ain't not worried about nothing. It's mostly the outsiders you gotta worry about getting drunk.
So, no fairy wine, no fairy fruits.
Nah, I ain't got the permit to sell that stuff up here.
You sure about that?
What, you looking for some?
No, I just want to make sure that there isn't anything in this that is going to be with waking up with me in the morning, like looking at Gentry's boots.
Oh, hon, the gentry have no power here.
Oh, they have no political power. I'm
I mean,
kind of
no
confident about
power.
that.
No, I actually mean no power. There's a reason why the council already has to work with the lords to even keep up, make sure our necks stay where they are.
Well, that is actually somewhat comforting to hear about there.
What do you have to worry about? You're primordial after all. If anyone's got rights here, it's definitely your lot.
I know, but they may not have the power in terms of magic, but they can still have the power to drive others insane, more or less.
She kind of waggles a hand around. It's like, I wouldn't say insane, just more being annoying. I mean, I kind of got one licking my boot at the moment. Ever heard of a ringmaster? Little shit he is.
Do I know of a Rainmaster? I'm asking a DM.
You do. You have vague memories of a very malicious gentry a long time ago that used to own a roaming circus that would abduct humans and turn them into the attractions. You know that eventually another gentry eventually came along, actually two of them, that wound up dethroning this madman, and he vanished without a trace.
So, hold on. You're telling me that this psychopath is stocking shelves for you now?
Yep.
Rose just kind of gets like the first kind of glee sort of on their face that they've had in a while, and they kind of start chuckling, like say, "Oh, that is delicious."
I take it you know him.
Oh, I wouldn't say personally, but there's been tales spun of the Rainmaster there, and oh, well, let's just say that maybe in a past life they may have done something that makes me quite happy that that karma's come back and bit him in the ass.
Well, pay in mind, he ain't dead yet. Just neutered in a way.
Still pretty bad.
Still bad, yeah.
Oh, believe me, I'm well aware there are worse fates than death. Speaking of better things, bottoms up and proceeds to basically at a college level chug the mug.
It's just a basic ale. You don't really feel any other effects aside from a bit of tingling from the carbonation. Tastes pretty good though. It's almost got a honey-like taste, actually.
Well, at least I know now my taste buds are still intact.
I mean, that would be pretty sucky if they weren't. I mean, your kind have all kinds of food around here, and I've seen some chug literal lava.
Oh, so okay, well I guess while we're doing the whole small talk thing, that's why I was dragged out for the first time in the first place. Oh, what brings you to this shindig?
Business, of course. But she kind of looks over your shoulder a little bit. There seems to be a bit of a rabbit fight in the middle of the street.
This is normal.
Are they actually literally doing like the whole rabbit thing where they're like on their haunches and just kind of rabbit punching each
Smack
other?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, I love it.
Rose just looks over to Auntie, and kind of shoves the mug back towards her. Oh, another this time. Make it a triple.
Gotcha. She'll move over and she'll actually put that mug away and take out a much larger one.
Daisy.
Sorry. 1 second. I'm gonna get the image of the two of them fighting right now.
Of course. But Daisy, can you roll me a perception check real quick?
Sure.
Son of a bitch. Okay, you're too enamored with the bunnies fighting to really notice anything, but you probably notice that there's a few people kind of just watching, but they're staying far away.
What about
mean-
Flick?
Nobody
Yeah,
wants to get
Flick's-
rabies.
Yeah, Flick. I was about to say, Flicks, also roll me a perception check, please. Flicks.
Flicks.
Should Mouse roll, or is he just intently watching the
Sure.
rabbit fight and wishing he could have taken bets?
Yeah. Yeah, Mouse, you're more concerned with taking bets on who wins. Flicks, on the other hand, you're kind of watching the rabbits fight for a few seconds, but then you notice something very peculiar. At least from your knowledge, you would know that typically when a fight breaks out, people rush in to stop it. No one's doing that here. In fact, the guards are just watching.
Oh my god. It's up to me. Bunnies, no! Okay, who hits me?
What do we do?
It's up to you two. Actually, roll a 1d4 for me, Various. See how hard you hit him. Okay. You take about 2 points of damage there, Tiberius. And your jaw's definitely sore.
Various shakes out his hand, but he is grinning now and seems in much better spirits.
This is not how we act. Markin, apologize to the other one.
Make me.
See, the cover is completely safe. Mark it.
I mean, at least with Blix.
He growls a little bit and was like, I'm sorry that you're such a fluff-brained rodentia.
See, that wasn't hard.
And I'm sorry that you have the manners of a Varger.
Well, I'm glad you're both sorry. Now we have work to do.
So, are we bunny punching again there, Jin? Or
Wait, what?
you're going back to the bunny punches because I just called you a Varger?
He's willing to let it slide.
Okay.
Anyway, since the fight has been broken up, you notice that more people are now no longer looking at you. The entertainment has come and gone. Back at Auntie's booth, Rose, she presents you with a quite large tankard. Like, you would assume that a giant might drink from this.
This is satisfactory.
Also on the stage, you notice that the band is beginning to set up. There's definitely lights that are now being set up, almost like searchlights that reflect rather well with the aurora that's going on currently. The sky, which is slowly starting to darken. Night is upon us.
Wait. Markin, wasn't there something about the curfew that we should be worrying about?
Another reason we need those stones.
Right. What did the stones give us with this whole curfew thing? And also, you should work on your left jab. It's little.
Oh, I'll keep that in mind next time I throw it. We need to... Shoot. What would I roll to remember what he's heard about?
Let's do let's see. I would say insight.
Alrighty. Oh, yay. Not my best.
It's fuzzy. It's not quite there, though. It's almost as if something in your mind's almost blocking it out in a way.
I don't know. I just know it's important. You've got me so frazzled.
Me, you're the one who got a sucker punch in.
He actually laughed.
I mean, not that it actually phased me or anything. Ripping the jaw. But Flix has not died. We have kept to our word, and maybe now we'll get your magical rocks that you care so much.
Yes. Flix.
All right. We are going to go and see Auntie.
All right.
She's a little scary. Don't look directly at her.
I'm looking directly at her.
Don't do it.
Nope.
Don't do it.
Nope.
Don't do it, Tiberius.
She kind of has already noticed you guys. After she had finished serving Rose, she kind of has her elbows propped up on her stand, the hands kind of kneaded into one another, and she's kind of got her chin resting on him, and is just kind of passively watching all of you.
Darius, I'm worried. I'm delicious.
Dacian's just gonna walk over to the setup bar with Mouse on his shoulder like always and greet her.
And she'll offer you a very friendly wave, Dacian's like, oh, wow, enjoying the party?
Much more exciting out here than in there.
Yeah, it tends to be a lot like that out here. I mean, inside you got a bunch of stock-ups. Yeah, the food's great and all, but honestly, the food's out here way better.
Mouse perks up at food.
Darius, you go first. I think she wants to eat me.
I'm
What?
very-
I'm more delicious
I'm
than you.
I'm hiding behind Tiberius. Yes, she's also hideous.
Wow.
And you actually roll
Wow.
something. Hold on.
Oh.
You're
She
basically
heard
Oh.
that.
She heard you. You're done.
The bunny said it.
You see
What?
her kind of look.
How could you, Tiberius? She is a spay. You are terrible. Go apologize right now.
She looks in your direction and it's like, well, if it ain't Flix Oakwish. How you adapting there, honey?
I'm sorry, my rabbits are rude.
Your rabbits?
So rude. So rude.
While this
Very-
is
Yes, I acquired them through an oath.
You didn't acquire us.
I did acquire you. Be quiet. You're the help.
Darius,
I'm
let
not the help.
Flix take this. Honestly, I think this is going to be hilarious. Let it happen.
while this is going on, as soon as Rose hears all this commotion coming to the bar, they just take a couple chugs to empty it out, and then they are going to try to hide their face as much as possible inside the mug.
Oh, you
Oh,
fool.
it's large
That
enough
would
to do
help.
that. It's large enough to definitely do that, so.
Is Rose's hair partly on fire?
Oh no.
There would be like little like embery sparks. that-
Embery, like sparkly ember flicks things? Yeah, I'm seeing you.
Actually roll, I want, Rose to roll, let's see, what would be a good roll for
Stealth?
this? Stealth, and then Flix Perception.
Stealth for hiding your face in a mug.
Oh.
Oh.
I saw sparkle. Oh, it's embers. Oh, hello.
Yeah,
God.
Rose, you kind of try your best, but your hair is betraying you as...
I push the bunnies aside and take a seat next to him. And who might you be?
Can I? Is there any chance that the embers would set his drink on fire?
No.
Aw.
He thinks of those things, thankfully.
Magically fire retardant alcohol.
That's pretty sad, though. A 3 or a 1 were your options. Oh, God.
The second roll is always the advantage or disadvantage roll.
I know, but even with advantage, his highest roll is a 3 on that point.
Yeah.
I'm
But,
just-
yeah, Rose...
Does Rose
She
accidentally drown in his drink from stealthing that badly?
He wishes.
Like he just
No.
shoves his face in too far and gets a nose full of booze?
No, thankfully they're perfectly fine. Okay, if I
Okay.
have yes, fix it.
Yeah, okay, 1 second.
Had so many nat 20s and now we're getting the ones.
I knew it.
It is the way.
I'm actually going to your sheets and making sure that the advantage is toggled so that doesn't have it. So anytime now that you get to roll an advantage on your sheet, you'll have to tap advantage or disadvantage this. Mouses should be. Go. Yes, it's stuff fixed. There we go.
Alright, hello?
Hello.
We hear
Hello?
you.
Okay, yeah,
Nice.
sorry about that.
It happens.
Okay, so yeah, so spotted Rose there, and
And Flix is now sitting next to you right now.
Rose still keeps their head inside the mug. It's like, hold on. Can I help you?
Your hair, it's just so sparkly. It's like you're some kind of molten muse. I must write about you. What is your name? Where do you come from?
Auntie kind of looks at Rose with his head in the mug. It's like, run.
Don't run. I can fly. Which means I can chase you.
Yes, I'm sure.
I'm Flix.
Rose just kind of pulls their head back. There's like a little bit of foam still, probably on their nose or lip there.
It's too late for you, Rose. It was a good life.
Rose just shoots a dagger look at Tibbs before looking back to the Flix there. If you must know,
I do. I must. Your name, what is it?
My name is Rose.
Rose. It's like a rose, but not.
And let me just tell you beforehand, if you think you're gonna try to bind my real name, good luck. I've seen that trick before.
What? No, I just want to write songs about you. What is wrong with you? Do you think I'm hitting on you or something? Oh, no. But you are a good muse. Because your hair shines. Not as much as mine, but we can fix that.
Oh lord.
I'll pass.
They all say that.
Can
Oh.
Dacian order a very, very, very large glass of the closest thing to wine that Auntie has?
Oh yeah.
While all this is going on.
She is. She's watching this and she's definitely chuckling a bit, but she brings Daisy in a nice, like, you know those tall, clear beer glasses that they tend to show in commercials to show off the liquor itself?
Yeah.
It's just a big thing of red wine.
Oh good. He's gonna enjoy that and ask for a cookie for Mouse.
She kind of stares at Mouse for a second and there's Daisy. It's like, you're gonna want a cookie, you're gonna have to go to one of the other stalls. I ain't got food here.
Pouting sad weasel. Ferret.
I mean,
Various.
Oba lurks here in the market stalls too, but he might be on the other side.
Various ambles up, pulls something out of his coat pocket, and holds it up. It is indeed a cookie.
Oh.
Wait. You told me you didn't have any more cookies.
Of course I did.
Mouse like skitters over across the counter. You know, I like you. You're not like him. Points to Tiberius. I like you.
What? He's fat?
You see his ears go straight up. And he slowly turns around.
Hold on. This is I gotta give you in the thing. This is Mouse's response to that.
I mean, I know you had snacks, but I didn't think you'd hold out on me. Honestly. V, what the moon?
And there you go, using the wrong name again.
I'm sorry. Marcius.
It's
What-
Markin.
Oh, sorry. Markin, what the moons? Thank you, Flick.
God, learn your companion's name. So, Rose, what do you do? I saw you with that Leonard guy. Or was it Leon?
Oh my!
Oh no, you got it right there, sugar. It's Leonard.
Well, at
Though
the
some say, go ahead.
well, if you must know, he is supposed to be more or less acclimatizing me to the plains, as it were.
And what does that mean?
It means, and maybe inspire your fate, maybe you'll learn something to me. That means that's a process of one adjusting to a new environment. And if you must have my honest opinion there, right now he is about a 4 out of 10 in accomplishing that.
So how would you like to come on a quest?
How about no thanks?
You look burly and shieldy-like.
Various hops up on. Are there stools?
Yes, there's stools.
Ugh. About that, we're told to come around here to ask about sigil stone.
Auntie kind of side eyes you. It's like, so you don't got any.
I've generally been led to believe that's a bad thing.
Well, she kind of winces. It's like, considering it's your mark of being a Foundry citizen, it protects you from more dangerous parts of the plains, and also make sure that, say, if you're out past curfew, you ain't gonna be locked into the cells anytime soon.
Just gonna sidle in right there and be like, yes, I heard that curfew is coming very soon, so we really need
You
one of
got
those
about
stones.
an hour. But, I mean, if you come looking for them, you're definitely at the right place. But at the same time, they ain't free.
Perish the thought, nothing should ever be free in all honesty. My friend and I, Marcius, totally know that. Markin, sorry. Markin totally know that, and we are willing to help with flicks and any other problems that might arise for us to get these magical stones that Markin keeps going.
Well, they're tied to me, so I should be able to give them stones.
She kind of points at you, Flex. It's like, you can't quite just give them stones, after all.
Yes, we can. We're Fae.
The stones ain't made by the Fae, Sugar Cube.
Who are they made by?
She kind of goes silent for a few seconds. It's like, I don't rightfully know. Usually, the way you get one is you make a good friend with the Primordial. They submit some paperwork, and usually then you go through this whole process. I never really got to go through it myself. I just got mine handed to me by, She kind of pauses for a second. And
By who?
you notice that her face kind of goes blank for a second, that she seems to think. And even
Did you
looks
forget?
troubled- And looks troubled for a second. It's like,
I forget sometimes too.
yeah, I can't rightfully remember.
Darius, I think that we might be.
Well, Jericho said that because I'm oath to them, I should be able to give them the stones. I had to come to you to find out where to get the stones from.
She kind of pauses and thinks for a second. She then looks at Rose and Dacian. Like,
Oh,
I am
God.
glad I am off the hook for this.
like, well, technically, like I said, you need a Primordial to be able to get you into the place where you actually find the damn things.
Okay, Rose, You know Leonard. Let's go see him.
We already tried. If it's the same Leonard.
There could be multiple Primordials named Leonard. Mark.
Markin!
Yeah, that's it.
Oh
If the
no.
Leonard you're talking about is the one I know, kind of got glasses on his face, big old ears, keeps that
Yes.
fire mane tied up in a ponytail.
Yes.
Yeah, that guy.
The lords can't help you here.
Well, then what good are they? Aren't they the ones supposed to give you stones?
She looks at you with wide eyes and is like, "You best be
Dude,
careful."
it doesn't make any sense. Well, aren't they the super primordials? Like the top tier primordials? Shouldn't they be able to be like, here's a stone, I'm a lord. Done.
She kind of goes quiet for many seconds. And it's like I said, I don't know the whole process. All I know is that you need to make friends with a primordial to get into where it goes. I mean, I technically can get you in without that little loophole, but again, it ain't gonna be cheap.
Okay, how much?
I got a bit of a job for a friend, if you're willing to
Okay,
know that.
what's a job?
A friend of mine that I'm well acquainted with has a pet that they need to get moved from one place to another without it getting seen.
Oh, that sounds easy enough. Everyone knows pets are small.
That's the problem, is it ain't small.
Well, how big is it?
She kind of stands up a bit and kind of puts her hand up above her head. Now, she stands about 5 feet tall, and she's reaching almost about 6 feet.
If it's going to be something that will get you in without the proper channels, it's not going to be easy, nor is it going to be fun.
You know what? I got this. We'll take Rose as a meat shield, and we'll take the bunnies and what's your name?
Dacian.
Dacian as some kind of what do you guys do?
Magic books.
We'll take them for magic protection, and I will sing it a lullaby, and then we'll drag it back. Foolproof plan.
Now, you might want to wait till the festival's over because, you know, she kind of motions around. There's tons of people out and about right now.
This is true. We should sing and dance some more.
Yeah, I mean, mingle with the crowd, wait for everyone to kind of disperse, and when you do, she kind of points at Dacian. He knows where to find me.
Okay.
Mouse
So
was
you
very
got a
upset
thing
at
with
pause.
Auntie, huh?
Not like that.
Okay. So you don't got a thing with Auntie, you're just friends. I understand.
He's pinching the bridge of his nose.
I have so many beings after me because I'm beautiful. Break too many hearts.
Oops, shit. There,
The
my dice.
wings give a little bit of a twitching stretch. As he's just kind of
I have wings too! I open my dragonfly wings. They're just not feathered.
But anyway, I mean, she kind of looks at Rose. It's like, are you in with them?
Rose just kind of. Oh, I had to make sure my audio was still working there. Okay, good. Rose just kind of looks down at his mug, just silently drinks the rest of it, just kind of lingers in the last couple drops there. I guess technically, since Leonard let me off the leash, that I'm...
I mean, would you rather just sit here and eventually wait for him to come and drag you back into service?
I'll take the pet sitting job.
Well, it ain't gonna be just yet, but if he comes and knocking, I'm telling him that you're busy with an errand for me, and that should get you off the hook for a little bit longer. Because honestly, I love the guy and all, but I feel damn sorry for anyone who has to watch after his nerdy ass. Not so much that it's dangerous, but it's boring.
Dacian gives a bit of a shrug. He didn't seem that bad when I talked to him.
Well, I mean, if you're into books and all, I suppose that's not too bad. But Auntie does look at Various and it's like, oh, honey, you still got a good hour, so you could probably stay even for the old performance from old Eureka up there.
You can stay with me. It's perfect. No one's gonna say anything about the ambassador in training's posse. Lest they fear the wrath of Jericho.
Chris, I've become quite afraid.
I don't know. Jericho can be quite scary if you get it done right.
I can't wait to be like him one day.
And Auntie kind of looks at you with a frown. It's like, no.
When you join the posse. Oh my god, a rat! Ah!
He literally fluffs up, like sits
A
up on
fluffy
his
rat!
legs and just like crosses his little front paws. No wonder you're in this mess. You are rude.
Oh.
I am too good to be arguing with a fluffy rat. Wait, when can rats talk?
Not a rat.
Oh, then what are you?
Void scent.
Flix, you have no
Excuse
idea
you.
what that is. Yeah.
Mouse just huffs. It's not something you would be able to understand anyway.
Okay.
As you guys are talking.
Wait, is that your pet? Stacy, is that your pet? Look, I have a pet too! I pull out Truffles. He's
Dacian
perfect.
just pinches his nose. He's not my pet. He was my pact mate when I was alive.
I have no idea what that means, nor do I really care.
Flix, why did the eyes go in two different directions?
Because he's special! Don't listen to him, Truffles! You're perfect!
Mouse just fucking snorts.
And
Well, I
Truffle
mean,
stares into the abyss.
maybe you just squeeze the brain power out of him.
So, about those sigil stones.
After the party!
As you guys are talking about this, you start hearing more lively, almost polka-sounding music coming from the stage. It seems Eureka has.
It's dance time!
Eureka has done his performance, and as you can see, almost everyone around the central ring is now gathered up at the front stage as he begins singing. I can't play the music I want to play because it's being streamed, but imagine songs with a high beat polka that seem to be making fun of the lyrics of other more popular songs in the plains. And people are
So he's Weird Al?
He's Weird Al.
Nice. Also, I dance like Elaine from Seinfeld.
Mm-hmm.
Are we down to this one?
Don't get near the kicks! The heels will hurt.
While this is going on, Rose has finished their drink and now has the mugs in the side. Their head is stuck inside. They're going to pretend that they passed out drunk and hope that the rest ignore him.
Anyway, as the performance continues on, he goes through several songs. In fact, the crowd even begins to grow as the energy in the air in general begins to almost crackle with lightning in a way. In a great way, though. It gives to the entire air of it all, considering he is a wind primordial. However, about 30 minutes pass and the performance begins to wind down. Eureka holds a hand up into the air and seems to cast a spell. No doubt to sort of give a ta-da to the performance, but I want you all to roll perception for me.
Oh no.
Can I just fail it on purpose?
Roll, please.
God damn it.
Well, I guess
There
you
you
just
go. Various, Blix, Rose. You all look to the stage and you notice that as Eureka casts a spell, you recognize it as dancing lights. However, the moment the magic leaves his hand, nothing happens. There's no lights, no sound, and there's a bizarre, resounding silence. You stop this? No, that's the wrong one. In fact, the longer the silence falls, you notice that there's a rumble in the distance. A rumble that
No.
will all hear.
No.
As sky begins to darken, and throughout the air, something begins to crack. Once it decides to play, come on,
well
let's try this again.
that oh no.
Let's try
did
this
we
again.
Oh.
It's the music.
Rhythm's not playing for me.
Do you have
There we
it
go.
turned off?
It's not turned up.
I may or may not have him muted. That is beside the point. Now everything is great.
Suddenly, thunder cracks through the entirety of the Foundry. Darkened clouds begin to swirl and form over the entirety of the sky. The entire area becomes caked in this almost soft and very familiar blue color. Rose and Dacian, you immediately know what this is. This is a null storm. This never happens here. This is supposed to be contained to another plane of the elemental planes. And for some reason, there is now one being conjured over the entirety of the Foundry. You see the performers on stage drop their instruments and enter a panic as they begin to run, including everyone in the crowd and everyone else that seems to be in the ring. Auntie is also panicked, and she immediately tells you all to find cover. What do you do?
I have not consumed nearly enough drink today for this. Well, Rose just looks to the rest of them. Okay, you heard the knight's banner snatch. Duck and cover!
After a very eloquently muttered, well, shit, Dacian starts gesturing back towards the council hall and indicating they should probably run.
Way ahead of you, already running that way.
Various is going to limp that way.
Pick up the pace, Various, honestly.
He mutters some profanity at Tiberius.
Tiberius secretly casts magic armor on Various and continues to run.
As you guys begin to run, you actually get distanced from the crowd. Many people are running to the council hall, so going there seems to be the wrong option. However, Auntie does wave you all down and tell you to duck and get underneath her stand. Do you accept?
I mean, it's close. So Various is like, he's limping. He's not able to really run really well, so he's gonna go.
Okay.
Vermont doesn't take cover when there's a storm, obviously.
Rose just runs by and jerks Tibbs by his sleeve.
My nobility!
Dacian would hesitate for a minute, wondering if a stall is really safer than a building, but he trusts Auntie, so he'll do it. He'll go under.
Alright, so let me
He's trying to fit his wings in there as best he can, obviously Mouse on his shoulder.
She's higher on the food chain. I dive in.
You're all able to sort of get into her stall as she kind of pulls the shades down a bit. She's like, alright, as long as it ain't gonna rain, we should be okay, and as long as the lightning actually doesn't strike us, I think we should be pretty safe.
Lightning?
But,
Now that you've said that.
okay. She kind of looks at all of you and it's like, what the hell happened? Didn't you see anything?
Shouldn't that short little lord guy be fixing this? Isn't that his job?
Very upset what you've done.
Not him.
Well, he is short.
The short Lord Null guy that I'm not allowed to call short.
Various huffs, and it's like one of the performers cast its magic. It apparently didn't do what it was supposed to.
He
Now,
was
what-
casting dancing lights.
Intentionally or accidentally is the question.
I don't know. I mean, I've been hearing rumors, but
Now, what happens if it rains? Or because, and also about the lightning, there's quite a bit of it. Are you sure it won't hit us?
Well, it obviously will hit the tallest thing, which isn't me, so it's fine. Tiberius
Well-
lowers his voice.
Mouse looks at Tiberius. You know, we could always put you on the top and make you, the lightning rod.
He's
Auntie
certainly
does
got
kind
the
of-
ears for it.
she kind of looks around. It's like, well, heading to the council hall is probably suicide at this rate, considering there's going to be so many people in there. So I might have another solution.
We're digging a hole, aren't we?
Rumors, you said.
As I hear rain.
Thankfully, you don't see any rain, but you can definitely hear some.
Oh boy.
But she kind of looks at Daisy and is like, well, some have been saying that magic ain't been working right around here lately.
Wait, what?
No one knows why or how, but this is the first time I've seen it. But I've heard rumors about anyone using magic that just kind of goes wild. This is the first time I've ever seen it happen.
And on such a spectacular scale, no less. Well, that's not reassuring at all.
No.
Sorry, I was gonna. If you don't mind me
Go ahead.
interrupting. Would Rose, from collective knowledge, know about stuff like primordial magic not working properly?
Yes. Rose, in fact, in particular, because of your hermit background and your background in general, something is starting to ring almost scarily familiar about all of this. Something of your past that you remember listening in on once about causing planar magic to turn on itself. This is almost a little suspiciously a lot like what you had overheard and during that time. It's worrying, but at the moment you don't quite have enough information to piece the two together, but it's definitely something that you feel you need to keep in mind.
Noted.
Auntie, on the other hand, is kind of watching all of you, and then hearing the rain coming, she kind of starts pondering and looking around. It's like, okay, this is a bit of a stretch, but I think I've got a place where you can lay low where it's not going to be completely crowded and packed with people until at least this blows over. Pay in mind, the said friend is a little eccentric, but there's no way in hell we're getting down into the underground right now.
Any more eccentric than the other people I've met this evening?
Flix is hyperventilating into a paper bag.
I
Well,
think I'll
let's
take my
go if we're
chance.
going to go.
I'll take my chances with your eccentric friend, Auntie. I don't suppose they can be any worse than what we've endured already.
Alright, because knowing the council hall, it's going to be packed with people if you're going to be lucky to even get in at all right now with everyone rushing in. With that, she actually kind of peeks out from underneath her stall and will motion for you to follow her as she basically
Crap.
vaults over the front and starts running toward what looks to be. She's going to the right and heading toward a large set of actually built buildings, not stalls, but buildings.
Daisy and the mouse are gonna follow. Can't be any
Various-
worse than he's already endured.
Various is going to limp afterwards.
No one's gonna help him.
I will help.
Oh no.
I will hyperventilate.
Tiberius is a noble soul and will help the poor bander whatsoever.
I'm not a bander.
If Dacian looks back, can he see Various is struggling easily?
Yes, very
All right.
much easily.
He's gonna go and he's gonna help. How heavy is Various?
He's. I'm not entirely sure. I'm bad at those sorts of things. But how heavy is Tibbs?
He weighs as much as his snacks.
I mean,
Various
I don't think
stress
Dacian's.
eats,
I
and
don't
Various is almost always stressed.
think. Okay, I don't think Dacian's gonna outright pick him up, but he'll help him.
Oh wow, I'm so glad it's you and not me. That's so degrading.
Thank you.
Of course, at least some people here, have their head on somewhat straight.
Auntie does kind of shout back at all of you, kind of telling you to try to keep up as she goes up to what looks to be a brick and mortar building and opens the door and almost immediately bolts inside.
As they're making their way over, Mouse is gonna look at Various. Can I have a cookie now?
Once we're inside.
Score! Hurry up, Dacian!
Priorities.
I mean,
Priorities.
his priority is a cookie, yeah. See, he likes Various. Various has cookies and is nice, He's a reasonable rabbit.
Anyway, is everyone heading there?
Mhm.
Okay.
Tiberius will secretly be protecting people, but he doesn't want people to know that he's doing that because that would be way too.
Aww.
Quiet, you!
As you all sort of pile into the building, you notice that it's actually almost uncharacteristically dark in here. You take a moment for your eyes to adjust, and before you see what looks to be a shop of sorts. Hold on, trying to make the damn thing. Let's get this on rolled. Inside, the lights are dim. You can see boxes on many of the different corners, and it almost looks like this had once been a theater house at one point, but is being slowly turned into a shop. You can see two large windows, occasionally flashing with bright blue light as thunder cracks down outside. You see stands of armor up on a secondary balcony with stairs leading up toward them, as well as a front desk with more boxes behind it. It has bizarre decor, and there's an overwhelming feeling of watched here. Auntie kind of walks in and kind of ushers you all in as well, just as rain begins to fall outside, and she almost slams the door behind all of you.
Is the rain, just out of curiosity, is it like out of gosh darn it, what was that game that came out? The
Heavy
really
Rain?
weird one. What was the really weird one with it was practically a movie and a walking simulator?
Heavy Rain?
No, it was shoot, sorry, never mind.
Death Stranding?
Yes.
Yes, it is a lot like that, except you can definitely tell before she closes the door that the rain itself is bright blue, and it almost sizzles whenever it hits something.
It's acid, isn't it?
No.
No, it's
No,
worse.
it's even worse.
Oh boy.
Have you ever heard of Timefall in Death Stranding?
I never played Death Stranding or saw it or whatever.
Well,
essentially, Dacian, as you're kind of processing all of this, same with you, Rose, your knowledge of null storms does kind of return, because originally in the panic we were like, oh shit, this is happening, we need to find cover. And now you're finally able to rationalize, remember why exactly these were so dangerous. In particular, the storm itself, at least being overhead, doesn't really do anything itself. Yes, it's chaotic, yes, it's terrifying, but it's usually what it brings is what is most dangerous. If the lightning itself is powerful and can and will kill you if you're struck. There is no saving against it. There is basically no way to survive it. The rain, on the other hand, especially for outsiders, is the most dangerous, as it has a horrible property of de-aging you.
You're welcome, Various.
Oh, well,
You
Dacian
can
would become
choose
young.
to relay that to the party if you'd like.
Oh, right. Well, good news, anyone. Now that we're all safe and dry, none of you have to worry about reverting to a fetus.
Now, for Primordials, it's a different story. For outsiders, that's exactly what they have to fear. But for a Primordial, it's a case of, especially for a Void, like you, Dacian, this energy has the ability to chip away at your body.
Oh boy.
So,
What will it do to me?
For you, Rose, it's not as dangerous as for, say, Dacian a Void, but it will still hurt a lot. It is very dangerous for all of you.
What would it do to a Fae?
It's the same thing would do it to outsiders. Same thing.
Baby Flicks just smashing his guitar on the ground.
Oh no!
Cookie.
This is different from normal Flicks. How?
I hyperventilate more.
One wears a diaper and I hope the other one doesn't.
Anyway, as Auntie finally gets her breath, she kind of looks back at all of you and it's like, wait here, let me go find the owner. And she kind of walks off into a room that's behind one of the staircases and vanishes.
Tiberius, for some unknown reason, is just going to sit down and catch his breath.
Alright. You guys have a little bit of downtime? What would you like to do?
Dacian is gonna help Various to a seat and then sit down himself. I wouldn't recommend touching anything if I were you, at least until we know where we are.
If you'd like to do a perception roll, if you want to look around.
Various is going to pull out a cookie first, as promised.
Mouse perks up and almost like stretches all the way from Dacian's shoulder over as far as he can to obtain Cookie. Looks back at Dacian and then back at Various. I like this one. We can keep this one.
Tiberius is going to berate Various on his lack of endurance. Honestly, Various, I thought you were better than this.
It's not about endurance.
Mouse
Well,
looked at Tiberius. This one does not spark joy.
Well, in all honesty, if you had left him, he would have been nothing more than a small, clattering fetus, so... Not much of a rival, just saying.
I mean, is this how you treat your friends?
Yes?
Well then, woe betide for your enemies.
Enemies?
This is how you treat the people you call friends.
Oh, please. My enemies are all dead.
Not entirely true.
Mouse opens his mouth, but before he can say anything, Dacian just kind of like covers it. Don't. Please don't.
Please, Varys. You and I both know we're besties.
Someone please save me.
Muffled sounds come from the Witteret with its mouth covered.
Excuse me. I'm just going to lean my head against the wall and fall asleep for a bit, okay?
As you do that, you hear sounds coming from the back room, and there's an overwhelming presence that suddenly falls over all of you. Sort of a
Nope.
pressure, almost.
Not sleeping. Terrified.
And from the back room, you don't see Auntie come out. Instead, you see... It's hard to really describe the figure, as it almost looks like a moving shadow. Even when it comes into the light, you can see nothing but blackness with a bizarre silhouette that is hard to place. But it does speak to you. Its voice is almost a mixture of male, female, and seems to echo in a way.
Mother?
At the same time, it doesn't quite sound like it's coming from the figure, but inside your minds.
Mother?
I'd be getting guests. I would have actually lit the place with light and darkness. And you see a figure standing on what you might have guessed would have been the stage of this repurposed shop. It looks to be almost a fox in nature, but it seems well dressed. It has sort of a light pink undershirt with a very nicely tailored vest, but its shape is alien. And there's a lot of pink spots over it, but upon closer inspection, you realize those are eyes.
Mouse looks at Daisy and, well, yeah, this definitely reminds me of home now.
More panic. But the
Daisy
figure
and
is looking over all of you, kind of waiting.
Daisy will get up from wherever he's sitting, go over and offer a half bow.
You were definitely taller than it. I will say that.
Hmm?
You were definitely taller than it. It's actually quite small. About, give or take, 5 foot on the dot.
Okay, so it probably comes up to his chest-ish.
Yep.
We do apologize for the intrusion. However, we appreciate the use of your shelter at the moment.
Yes. The storm outside. Quite curious that happened. What the... Doing a major celebration for suddenly something's not meant to be appearing for a place where it shouldn't belong. How curious this is. Yes, the Bandersnatch has told me all about you all. Doesn't take long. But
Her name's Auntie.
yes, but I call her the Bandersnatch. I call her wherever I want, as I'll call you whatever I please. Unless proven wrong.
I'm Vermont.
The being looks at you, Daisy, and then the 2 rabbits, looks at Rose, and then looks at Flix. You are more than welcome to remain here until the storm passes. At this moment, my shop is not currently open. I still have a lot to unpack. He kind of motions at the boxes that are all around the shop.
Huh. So, did your little remodeling get interrupted by the storm then?
Not so much as the festivities themselves, actually. You know, when there's a festival happening, not many people are in the market for my particular brand of inventory.
Mm.
What exactly do you sell?
Ah, that is indeed the question. It's more of a case of what I don't sell. And the figure will actually look at Tiberius and Varius. Magic not working. Ah, that would explain the storm. He staring right at both of you.
Question: are all of the eyes on them?
They're everywhere. It almost feels like if you move, the eyes follow you.
That's great because I'm not moving, so everything is great.
Right. It seemed like there was a spell that went wrong.
Ah. Oh. There's a sudden drop in the figure's voice. I see. That's troubling, indeed.
Don't let it eat me.
For some reason, the being doesn't seem willing to speak on that more, though, however. He seems to quickly divert the topic away. Well, then, I suppose since the storm is raging above us, we'll be here for a while. Please do make yourself comfortable.
How long does curfew last?
Curfew? Ah, oh. I see. Fear not, little rabbit. I have a tunnel. This method of speech is very bizarre to you, as you've noticed.
His name
yeah.
is Martin.
I have a tunnel below that leads to the underground. Your friend decided to use it already. But for now, you seem tired. Feel free to rest here.
See, Martin? We can sleep here. It's great.
I don't think that's a great idea.
I would just advise not to touch anything.
Oh no, Flix. He looks over at Flix.
Is Flick still hyperventilating?
Oh no.
Hello?
Yes.
Oh, he's still hyperventilating.
Oh,
Stacy pinches the bridge of his nose. Well, this may not end as well.
As a GM note, we're all now level 2. So,
yay!
there you go. This is your first milestone.
Mouse got sassier.
Mm-hmm.
That escalated quickly.
We didn't kill each other. I'd say that's a pretty good milestone.
Yet.
Yet. Ugh.
Yet. Just as a heads up for those watching the stream, this session will not be level ups via experience, it'll be done via milestones. So based off of certain criteria and based off of certain story elements, the players will level up as a result. So they have just earned their second level.
Yeah, and actually, real quickly too, I've seen a couple things in chat for this. So yeah, there's this entirely homebrew setting, and yes, Primordials are the D&D canon, but in AE, Primordials are completely separate from that.
Yes. And my version of the Elemental Planes is a completely different beast from the Elemental Chaos. So I will take this time for you guys to... I'll leave the floor open for you guys to roleplay, as you actually got through what I had planned for this session.
Hey!
We did the thing.
Actually, mostly also because I need to prepare backgrounds for the next part, because... Jin knows. Jin knows.
Tiberius is just going to kind of like pass out against the wall because he totally protected people, didn't want to tell people what he was doing, so...
Now, walls are not exactly bare. There are banners all over the place. There's, of course, windows, and there's boxes mostly pushed up against the walls.
He's a tiny rabbit. He fits anywhere.
You're still going to find yourself leaning up against the table, or at least one of the boxes. And you can kind of see the being kind of looking at you and goes, kind of waggles a finger and approaches you. It's like, I would rather you not do that. It'd be a shame if you say broke one of the boxes and fell to your untimely demise.
I don't want a demise, but you just tell me where to sleep, and I will put my ears down there.
You can lay on the floor if you require rest.
That sounds wonderful. Thump!
I will be releasing the artwork online after the session as well.
What is Flix doing right now?
Yeah, I was about to ask about that one.
Give her a second. She's putting the kids to bed. I'll switch with her so she can respond.
All right. Yes, I will be releasing all 5 of the backgrounds created for this session. Once we're done. Actually wound up making this last one that we're looking at last minute because I was like, wait a second, I know a way to extend my plans. So.
Wait a second. There's something missing.
Is there?
No, I'm just repeating your thought process.
Yeah, essentially. But let's wait for Flix to come back so let's see what they're up to.
Sorry, I was putting the kids to bed.
You're fine.
Oh, worries.
Tiberius just face planted on the floor to sleep, so.
Okay, I'm going to cuddle up next to Truffles and give us a pep talk and go to sleep.
Oh. Rose, what are you doing?
Rose just kind of sits down there, kind of sits with his back to the counter. They just kind of watch the storm watching outside there for a moment, just kind of blankly, as if sort of kind of reflecting innerly on themselves.
Oddly enough, looking out at the storm, it does seem bizarrely peaceful, like one would look out at a storm from their own living room. If not for the more dangerous nature of it, that kind of lurks on the edge of your mind about what it really is, this would be actually quite enjoyable to watch. But it's just that little inkling that it's not great. But it's definitely relaxing to watch it itself. Dacian, what are you doing?
They're not so their host is still there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. He's curious. He's gonna want to poke and find out what exactly it is that they don't sell, since that's shorter list.
Mm-hmm. But the creature is at the front desk, kind of just sitting on it right now and watching over all of you. You're free to ask and approach as much as you want.
He's gonna go over, obviously, with Mouse on his shoulder. So, your shop, you said it's more what you don't sell.
Indeed. As you might have guessed, I am a purveyor of many wares. What was the wisdom save for?
Personal.
Okay. But the creature will look again at Daisy and it's like, is there anything in particular you had in mind?
There are many things I could definitely say I have an interest in and see.
Is that so? Then what might you be looking for?
I've always a mind for curious trinkets or baubles, especially of a magical nature. Books as well.
Second. Let me, Dacian, would you give me an Arcana check? Okay. Sadly it's not high enough, but the creature kind of looks over you, and there's a moment where it kind of brings its long, sharp fingers to what looks to be its chin, and it kind of seems to think for a second. All of the eyes are on you at the moment, though for everyone else, they would still look like they were being looked at as well. The creature looks to the boxes as like, some may say that these are magical indeed, though some may say the opposite. They may help, they may not. It's to the eye of the beholder. Essentially, Dacian, from what you're getting from this, is that he sells cursed items.
Awesome. So kind of like what Dacian did back in his world.
Hmm? So from what you're getting from him, is that there's a case that he knows what a lot of these do, but is not willing to tell people.
As with many things, in between the light and dark, there is the ever-present shade of gray. Nothing really is what it seems.
The being kind of nods. It's like, actually, in the grand scheme of things, there is never white, dark. Never has ever been a fabrication of those of lesser minds. Everything is gray and ends in nothing.
Mouse just sits on his shoulder. Well, that's decidedly cryptic, but I can agree with some of the sentiment.
Your friend is rather wise, it would seem. He speaks to Dacian, most likely meaning Mouse. Though curious creature is he, as is you. Very strange. Though then again, to find things strange here is certainly abnormal and interesting, especially in the realm of strange.
Oh, shoot. Sorry.
You're fine. Don't worry about it. You're fine. Also, for your HP, please take the average of 5 and then add your modifiers to increase your HP. I'll be doing the averages for this to make it easier.
You said 5 and then...
5 and then whatever modifier your health relies on.
Well,
Usually con. So.
Can't pull it from my care sheet.
How much in general of the wares are actually set out at the moment?
There seem to be a few glass stands set up on the right side of the shop that definitely seem to have a few items inside of them. Though in the current light, you can't see them from very far away. You're going to need to get closer.
Alright, Rose will get up. They'll go ahead and peruse them.
Okay. On one of the shelves, let me actually get one of my own personal dice up because I don't want to roll on cat. Let's roll from my sheet. Oh, okay. The very first item you actually see looks to be a folded up piece of cloth from the looks of it. It has sort of a shimmer to it. Looks sort of purple on the main color, but you can definitely see layers of gold inside of it. Yes, dice sound, sorry about that. The thing next to it looks more like a wooden cane. But you can definitely tell by looking closer that that's not wood, those are snakes. petrified snakes. And then after that, you see a very smooth orb that's been held in what looks like a box. The orb isn't touching any of the sides, but it reflects almost everything that comes near it, almost like mercury.
Alright, I will take a closer look at the T1000 orb.
As you get a little bit closer to the orb, you notice that it ripples almost. And the reflection itself changes for a few seconds. Roll a wisdom save. Okay. You do have the instinct to back away as the orb seems to almost lurch out at you before recoiling back in on itself, almost like something was trying to grab you. More so, you also see that, or at least hear, that someone is chuckling in the back of your head.
Hey, excuse me, yeah, many eyes over there. I don't think we quite got your name yet. This is one hell of a pet shop you have here, you know that?
It looks at you. It's like, that was an orb of a changeling. I'm surprised you got away from it. Normally, what it does is steal faces.
Oh, trust me, I am well acquainted with changelings, thank you.
Well, try not to get so close next time. I haven't quite set up the proper container for it.
Pro tip, you might want to make that one of your priorities if it hasn't been already.
Well, if you have not noticed, I am still setting up.
I'm just saying, keep it in the back of your head. Not like what this thing's doing in the back of my head, but you know the phrase.
Now, there are more stuff on the shelf as well. There's stuff below what you saw.
Quick, just random question.
Yes.
Are there any domino sets?
Now that you can see, actually roll a perception for me.
Oh no.
Now, you don't quite see anything. You see a lot of rings around, though. You see a strange-looking sword, another orb-like item that almost looks like an eyeball. But in general, you don't really see much that looks like a box of dominoes.
Good. I'm pleased with this outcome.
Also on the shelf, you notice a short sword, but it looks like it has a rifle barrel attached to it. And that's definitely an oddity here as well. Did you want to look at any more items?
Yeah, I think Rose is just gonna kind of go back over to, back over to one of the staircases and just sit down at the base of it.
The creature kind of looks at you and is like, "Aw, a shame. There is one item that I still need to find. It's a bag. I have a feeling if I leave it alone for too long, whatever's inside will come out, and I don't need that problem." And if you guys would like to roleplay a little bit more, if not, then this is the end of what I have planned, so it's up to you guys at this point. Oh, Various is up. This definitely does get the creature's attention, as it more or less silently is watching you. But you definitely feel the eyes on you.
He's going to just try to ignore that and ignore the sense of dread, and is more or less looking around curiously.
Now, are you looking for anything particular, or are you just kind of perusing?
Perusing.
Okay. Okay. Uh, Varys, you kind of pass by one of the tables that are kind of cloaked in a purple cloth, and you can also see that the same kind of cloth is on the banners as well, and the banners themselves have some very alien-looking writing and symbols. But below these banners is a table that has several items that are laid out as well, but these ones are actually well put away. They're under a glass case, kind of like how you would see with a jewelry shop. Would you like to look into it?
Of course.
Okay. Inside, you can see a mask almost. The mask has the face of an aboleth. You know what that is from your reading, by the way. But it's
Oh.
very strange looking, almost shimmers, but it's definitely something bizarre. The next one next to that looks like a piece of armor, a chest plate in fact, that is actually sitting in a bowl. Would you like to look closer at it?
Of course. I had a
Um,
horrible will save.
You really did. But as you kind of lean in to look at this armor, you notice that there's something pooling underneath the armor, which is the reason why it's in a bowl. It's dripping with something. Something red. And it seems to be constantly dripping it. Do a medicine check for me, please. You don't know what it is, but it can't be great.
No,
It's
no,
probably just fruit punch. It's fine.
I'm sure it's fine.
And there's another one in there as well, however. It's a ring. Looks kind of normal, almost like just a basic silver ring, and you're almost wondering why it's in there. Where is that? Roll me a will save.
So wisdom?
Wisdom.
Oh no.
Ooh. Oh. Okay. So, Various, as you're staring at this particular ring, you start hearing whispers in the back of your head. It almost sounds like something is chanting, "Let me free, let me free, let me free." And it's beginning to get louder and louder and louder, to a point where it's almost covering your hearing.
So does anybody else see this? One of the rabbits staring intently?
Everyone roll a perception check that is still awake. Okay. Do you want to also roll for Dacian?
Oh, that was supposed to be for Dacian.
That was Mouse.
Well, I was off Dacian's sheet.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's because you have your name as that. Okay.
Here's
Dacian.
Mount.
Yeah, Dacian. You notice that one of the rabbits. Jesus Christ, Mouse.
Mouse! God! You're just like obsessed with that cookie, buddy.
Yeah, he's looking for crumbs.
He's probably trying to find out if they have any like magical cookies that never go away.
At a cost. But Dacian, you're the only one that notices this, but you see that one of the rabbits, Various, is staring at at something that's in one of the cases, and it's almost like he's transfixed on it. You kind of see one of his hands kind of start rising up to try to grab it. What do you do?
Oh, seven hells. He's gonna book it over there and yank the rabbit back, like two arms around him.
Okay, go ahead and roll a wisdom save, another wisdom save there, Various.
Hey!
You feel this, and you feel something pull you back out of what feels like you were being pulled into this black, oozing well, and you just feel like you're finally able to breathe again and just inhale a breath of air as you look up and you see you were being restrained by Dacian.
Okay, I'm not looking at anything else in here. It was very tempting, but I'm fine now. My curiosity is sated.
Sometimes it's not even just touching an item. Some things tend to misbehave even without it.
Oh, yes, trust me, I know.
And especially if there's something wrong with the magic right now, I'd be cautious around anything.
Okay, that roll was specific for something that Chibi alerted me to. By the way, no, nothing happened. You got a nat 20. Nothing happened.
Well, of course, he was protecting. I mean, nothing.
Hmm?
Alright, next
Nothing.
time whenever you cast spells like that, please alert me. Like, if you're actually going to cast a spell, say, hey, I'm casting this, that way I know to roll your thing. Thank you.
Now, here's a question.
Yes.
Since I have something that's a very much a class feature, does bringing that